and paiN Gaming. So paiN's going to be on attack, bringing the Jackal and the Glaz, and Merciless is going to be on defense.
So that means they're going to be on the hunt here, trying to pick off roamers that get a little too sneaky and expose themselves early. So we'll see if some drones can kind of weed them out for this attack to work.
To me, this just seems like your basic, let's push in from either side, whether it's west or east balcony, just throw in the smokes, cover with a Glaz, and go for the plant.
Yeah, the lack of Hibana makes me think they're going to go for the CCTV side and go for that A plant, because otherwise you want to have the Hibana for the flexibility. And I don't think Thermite always works as well for the archive side, or I mean the office side, especially if they leave the wall soft. They have the ability to shoot that Thermite breach. So I could definitely see this being more of an A plant. Interesting to see which wall they decide to put the mirror on. That's one of the things I like about the site, is there is some flexibility in how you decide to use those mirrors. Either way you put them, though, they can be shot from below potentially and opened up if the attackers are able to get control of the bottom floor first.
Now we are going to see Mira play inside, or at least a Mira window go inside of Fountain. Typically, there's one of two ways to hold office. You're either going to keep hold of the actual Fountain, keep a Mira window, taking a look at office, or you're going to hold onto CCTV and push in and actually hold from CCTV through Fountain through office.
Interesting, they opened up a bunch of that CCTV wall to try and get some line of sight in there to see when they're pushing on that CCTV, maybe fire back. But I can't imagine they're going to want to open that mirror window to do that. The west wall reinforced. We'll see if they shoot through maybe that doorway right there. This is going to be on them to try and figure out where these roamers are first so they can push and clear CCTV, which they're definitely doing right now. I imagine this is going to be a quick control of this because no one's hanging out in there. But the wall being opened up might give them a little bit of caution.
Yeah, it looks as though we might be seeing this west balcony push here. Spawns is going to be on top of it, repelling onto the side here.
He's burning up a lot of time, and he might not have any footprints left to see by the time he's able to get in there. Intact, instead of playing his smoke that we've seen him be a good roam on, going to be on the bandit. An even faster operator. I think we could see potentially some good picks from him here if he's able to stay alive.
Now what's going to benefit MG here is going to be the lack of a twitch. However, Yuna is going to move in forward. He's going to try to get a shot onto anyone that might be by the mirror window. However, it looks as though we do have a little pushback through.
It's interesting. You got the C4 out there from Mira hanging behind the half wall, ready to throw it, but not getting the opportunity just yet.
Not just yet.
There we go.
It is going to get tossed on out.
Nope. Heard the rip at least.
Not just yet.
Speaking
now,
of rip,
what's happening right now, ladies and gentlemen, is the match is actually being buffered because this is a broadcast from the Latin American scene. So Latin America down in Brazil, they are recording this,
short
and we are being sent. Yeah, sure, a little short distance. It is being sent to us via a clean feed, and then we are showing it here, and we are broadcasting over it for you. Unfortunately, right now, it looks like we might be having some technical difficulties. So when we get an update, we'll give you guys an update. But right now, what do we see here? We saw round number 1, a push from west balcony, and we heard the mirror try to throw a C4, or at least rip the C4.
Rip, yeah.
Didn't know if it actually got tossed out and finished down yet.
I think maybe didn't. Maybe it just had it switched off it real quick, switched to the cameras, then switched back to ripping it again, getting ready for it.
Now we do have the game, though. Let's head on back here momentarily.
So close.
Almost. It's still buffering up for us here. But it's still 0-0. No one has won the round just yet. And, I mean, what we're looking at here, again, is this top 4 hold. We were expecting it. We weren't sure if it was going to be east or west side push. It turned out to be a west side.
Definitely, yeah, that CCTV. I liked what they were trying to do to bait out with that smoke there. Glass just walking in. Unfortunately, you can't see batteries glow in yellow, and otherwise he might have shot those. But then again, he would have given away his position, and the C4 probably would have got thrown if he'd actually shot.
Yes.
So the fact that he didn't give away too much information, I think, was good in terms of seeing if he could get a free kill. But that was pretty risky, that there's C4 rips going on.
I think it was definitely risky due to the fact that you're trying to use a glass scope, which is a 4x scope, very close on. We're back into the game. Round number 1 did go into the hands of Merciless Gaming, the defenders, and ultimately, I think it ended up being, it was 3-on-1, and they ended up winning that final round.
Yeah, it just looked like the attack started falling apart a bit once they got into the room, into the lockers. We are going to see our first Legion here of the day. It is one that...
And our first Capita. This is a day of first.
There you go.
A map of first, we'll call
Well,
it.
it's nice because we're seeing a huge amount of variety among the operators. Yeah, we talk about those pick rates at the beginning, but they clearly don't apply to when people just want to play different things in different maps, and we're seeing that. I'm curious to see how this Capita is going to be used. There's a lot of possible uses for him here. Assuming he doesn't die early, we may actually get to see that. We're seeing a lot of Glass, though. Cyber also going to be playing that Glass. I remember him being a pretty good Glass player as well. So we could see some interesting use of that. We saw what they were trying to do with it last round on the other team. So we're curious to see if we see a similar approach or not on this particular Glass play. They're bringing out those Candelas as well. This is, again, it looks like set up for an A attack because there's no Hibana. So I'm guessing they're going for a similar approach, but they're going to have to deal with Ella hanging out here in CCTV, calling out for the hatch to be blown so he has an escape route, which is smart. You don't want to be like you getting trapped in rooms before where Glass just pinches you out. So we'll see if that works
you
out.
need to have your escape route, especially if the going gets tough. You need to be able to back on out of there if the call is made. However, we are going to be seeing paiN Gaming basically build a fort and hold down to it inside of the CCTV room.
Board's taking control of East Stairwell pretty fast, though, which I like to see. It's good to make sure that you don't have roamers using that early on. So being able to cut this off is good Claymore placement. I've seen some good Claymore kills from that spot, or a couple of different spots in that area. So that is an important thing for you to take control of early. Deny as much access. Like I said earlier, there's only 2 stairwells. You deny one of them, now you have a lot more map control as an attacker. See if this droning works out for him, though. They do have that typical hallway placement mirror window, which lets them look down that. So I don't know if Capito's exposed himself as being there yet or not, but they're definitely wanting to take control of your stairwell. We could see an office's push.
Yeah, I think that's what we are going to see on the east balcony and office, just due to the fact that there is so much pressure on CCTV.
And Thermite's going up there, too, with the diffuser.
Yep.
So it might have even been a smart call late where they saw there was the Ella in the CCTV and decided they didn't want to contest it, that they're just rotating around, making that Ella worthless over there.
Oh, and there is PSK getting one shot in the hip by Cyber.
Well, now they know the push is coming from this side. They're going to be able to rotate and get a little more prepared. Now, this is where the attackers need to pinch a little bit more as well. This hopefully, Legion threw out a thing on this window here so he gets Goomine, but he did not. Yuna's going to need to do some... we saw Goomine there. I think it was a Candela.
Yeah, no, the Candela got tossed on out. Unfortunately, that's also going to tag Cyber down. Yuna, though, he is going to try to challenge, and that challenge after the third peak is not going to go in his favor. Cyber going to take off his head. Be the first round, or the first kill here for round number 2.
Don't peek at Glass unless he's distracted, but PSK won.
There's going to be that distraction.
He's throwing smokes. Okay, I'll run at your face with my gun. Worked out in his favor. Attack, though. Going to try and punish it. There we go.
Wonderful job there, Intact, picking up the refrag, getting across and grabbing this kill down. And it's a 3-on-4, 40 seconds left to go. We're going to have spawns inside of that A site.
Oh, I like how he looked away. Now this is where he could be using his utility to help kind of clear the way with some smoke or fire. You might see this Capito get his job done. Candela's already been doing great, but that's a typical spot you expect to see people. He should have been a little prepared to pre-fire that.
Navi's goes down as well. That's going to make it a 3-on-2. 20 seconds left to go. Boar's going to try to move in forward towards Fountain, but realizing that he's got to watch the flank. He's got to watch on outside, and that means PX is going to move in forward. Boar is going to be right behind him, and to the side is going to be Spawns. He knows he's there, goes for the long peek. He gets down, but not finished off. He's going to prone his way through. Boar picks up a double kill, and he's going to get a triple kill there. Merciless Gaming just coming slaughtering in the final seconds of the round. They're going to steal round number 2 out of the hands of paiN Gaming.
I was starting to think that maybe the attack was going to fail there, but 100% the reason the defenders lost that round, too much peeking. There was so much contesting through walls and through doorways that the peeking was what got them killed every time. They wouldn't hold hard angles. Spawns did a little bit on that one angle and did get a good kill for it, but they knew where he was at that point, and they just had to pre-fire it. This is exactly what they did.
I think you hit the nail on the head earlier when we were talking about they need to be aggressive, but they need to keep that aggressive in check.
Yep.
And they were overly aggressive on their peaks. We saw the Legion go down early on. We saw Bandit, yes, Bandit got his kills, but ultimately he was playing very aggressively in that corner. The final 2 members that Boar picked off, they were being aggressive. You didn't need to overly peek that. You had Boar in the room. Or not Boar, you had the Bandit in the room. He'll tell you if someone's in trying to go for the plant.
Yeah, if you were going to be peeking, it better be to throw a C4 at that point, because just shoving your head out and look to see if they were there was just clearly not working. We're going to see our first ventilation now, though, which is why you're seeing the castle come out. A typical pick for this bomb site, as it's useful for guiding the rotation and dealing with the bathroom side, you know, opening up the wall into the bathroom, throwing the castle down. Pretty typical because it works pretty well. I imagine that's what we're going to be seeing. They really need to reinforce this wall, of course, because, you know, they need to make sure that that bathroom push doesn't become a big problem for them. So
Looks as though they might be trying to stay inside of servers to prevent that bathroom push.
Yeah, we'll see if this works. I mean, again, like I said, I have found time and time again watching this game, as I obviously watch a lot of it, that 3-man up top tends to win because unless they push the bottom. Because if they try and clear top floor, I've seen so many times where the 3 men just somehow wipe out 3 of the attackers at least before going down and denying that top area control for so long that by the time they are attempting to plant, they're not even concerned about bathroom anymore. They're dropping hatches to plant.
Yep.
And it just fails. So I really feel like if the defenders throw 3 up top, you attack the bottom. If defenders throw 3 on the bottom, then you can clear the top because you can pinch those 2 defenders. But otherwise, if they're throwing 3 up there, which I don't think they're doing, attack top here is the way to go, and it looks like that's what they're doing.
Yeah, it looks as though only Intact and Novies are going to be up here. Oh no, Cyber did manage to skedaddle on up the west
I think
stairs.
he's going to be playing pretty flex. He's obviously got the speed to do so, and I think we'll see Cyber potentially, if he doesn't get himself killed early, be an important part of this. But they are doing at least a lot of droning to get some idea. Unfortunately, they're not droning to enter, which means they're droning to get information they can't use yet, which means probably by the time they get in there, all those roamers will be in different positions anyways.
Now, good news here for Spawns is he was able to bait out 1 gas grenade by Intact, and we still have half the round to go.
Yeah, I mean, assuming Intact, we've seen him be a great smoke roam player. I don't think he's going to fall for some more. I'm not sure that that's going to really change a whole lot for him, but it is a nice start for them. Oh,
Wonderful push out by
There we
Intact,
go.
grabbing the head onto Jerry.
he knows how to use that SMG-11. Unfortunately for him, now he's got to contest with Spawns actually flanking him nicely. Oh, I don't think Intact fell for it. Oh, he went for a run out.
Oh, he goes outside.
Oh,
Spawns, he didn't see him, but there he goes. He will peek on over in time. Grab
So
Intact, he tries to vault back in through the window. Now Office and Fountain will be in control of paiN Gaming, but still only 55 seconds left to go.
Oh, there goes Spawns on that cyber roam, like I was talking about, came around to take that kill back up. But Bathroom's already getting opened up by PSK1 here. Starting to make some good progress. This could go in the favor of the attackers, down to a 3v3. Oh, as I say that, it's getting close.
Yuna is going to be here outside of the reception desk, a little side desk. Wall has been opened up, and there might be... there's going to be the Ella Mine. That's going to make Yuna a little bit drunk now. He's going to go down to the ground, try to prone his way through. Cyber still up top, but Boar picks up the UMP kill onto Yuna, dragging him on down. A 3-on-2 now. 3-on-1, 2-on-1 with Boar getting yet again another kill.
They've
Now
got
with 10
control of the
seconds left to
hatch.
go, PSK's looking on up. He knows there's some pressure from above. There's going to be the final kill. Cyber peeks on around as the push comes from above as well. And that is going to be Merciless Gaming taking a 3-0 lead.
They are definitely coming on strong here, and I think overall, I feel like paiN executed that pretty well. Like, I don't think that was a flawed round. They did take some top floor control pretty fast. Not eliminating Cyber early obviously hurt them. I liked that gameplay, the 1v1 between Intact and Spawns just dancing around each other. It was nice, but unfortunately it didn't work out in the favor of the defenders or the attackers, really, as they kind of just traded in the end. So just good roam play, really paying off there because you had Cyber there in the end. Not only was he impactful in trading back and forth early on, he was also there to get the kill at the end. His roam there made it so PSK1 had no way to win that gunfight because he was going to be trapped. Even if he was putting pressure on it, Cyber comes in for the kill when he goes for the plant. So nicely executed by Merciless, although that was closer than I think the previous rounds really have been.
Yeah, I feel like that did end up being fairly close. I do feel like Merciless did kind of outplay them a little bit. We saw that little gesture from Smoke trying to hop on out of the office wall, rotate around to the window. Now, unfortunately for him, it didn't go in his favor, but it did waste a couple extra seconds, and ultimately it forced paiN to try to pressure and push a little bit quicker than maybe they wanted to.
And think about it too. Now, actually, paiN actually played Border and Chalet last time, so these are the 2 maps they should be good on because they've played them before. But when I looked at the previous matches for paiN here, they were actually really weak on their top floor defense, played it over and over again, losing it, and actually only won their ventilation defense. And they're not capitalizing on it. They're not switching to vent and saying, well, this is our better defensive site. They're just going to continue to lose the top floor before they realize it. So that is a clear indication to me that they have not learned. And this is going to go to Merciless if they don't figure that out.
Yeah, I feel as though there's still some practice that paiN should have taken away from this. They should have been able to go through their previous matchup and said, look, these are some opportunities we missed. I don't think they've found them all, and I don't think they've worked on them all.
No, I mean, when ventilation's the only site you can win, maybe you should try that out earlier on and surprise them on your first defensive round, for example. But, I mean, nonetheless, clearly Merciless are playing pretty well here. It's not just down to paiN, not learning from their mistakes as well. We are seeing them actually bring out a Legion this time as well. You know, both these teams willing to bring out Legions. Again, though, as I've said last night, we're not seeing a lot of Legions be effective. I really like Legion as an operator, but I have not seen him be very impactful in any rounds, especially in a gunfight.
I think generally that's because of how specific you have to place those Legion traps. They're not like an Ela mine where Ela mines go off from 4 meters away. You literally have to step onto this. Now the nade comes through.
Speaking of stepping onto it.
Wonderful, wonderful toss there by Navi's.
That was definitely going to be very impactful. PSK1 getting killed right after by Cyber. This is looking like a quick shutout. It's all down to just the two site defenders and 1 roamer for the most part at this point.
There's a good one. Trap.
Well, at least that did something. All it did was Glaz is a good person to hit with that, but he had the smoke coverage.
Mira's going to be inside of the B site. Now, if one more trap goes off, she might be seeing that C4 get tossed on over.
And you know, if Legion was still alive, he could have called out exactly where that was, too, and they could have done something about it. So maybe you should try to live longer.
Oh, there's going to be a wonderful peek out by Jerry. He's going to take out Cyber, then get refragged by Navi's. It's going to be a 4-on-2 now with 55 seconds left to go. Intact has made it into the site. He sees Spawn going for the pre-fire, and he grabs it down. That is going to be Merciless Gaming winning round number 4. They're on match point now.
I love that gunfire control on that pre-fire, too. Look at him. Just timing it right. Yeah, maybe he wasn't going for head level necessarily in case they were crouched, but you saw that discipline on the pre-fire. I mean, Spawn's he even knew he was there, was holding the angle, still lost the fight because he didn't pre-fire back. He didn't want to give away his position, but ultimately Merciless living up to their name.
Doing very well here on border.
So we'll see if paiN can figure out and learn from the pain they've been given here to actually come back at least 1 round, because if this gets shut out here, they're going to be going to another map that we know that they're not able to win when they want to play it. So sure, this wasn't their pick, but they definitely have played it before and should know what they're doing by now. So this is, I don't know, this is not looking good for me even going into Chalet if this is how it's going to be for paiN on border. We'll see. I mean, they did better on border than they did Chalet, so
yes,
last time. So it's not great here. But this is their chance here. This is their last chance to try and take it back. But let's be honest. They've got to take it back 4 rounds in a row here to make this work. Not seeing it, but I'm honestly very hopeful. I hope they can do it. That would be fantastic to see this go to overtime at least, regardless of who wins the map.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to go in favor of paiN, specifically for the reason that Merciless is here on their top 4 hold, which is by far the most favored bomb site on this map.
Yeah, if they were forced to something weaker here, like ventilation, yeah, maybe I could see paiN making a comeback here. But like you said, this is a strong bomb site for them. They know how to defend it quite well. I don't think their Glaz play has been as good as Cyber, and so I think they don't have the advantage to be able to push this right. I don't know if those Candelas are going to do a whole lot to change that up for them here. I mean, maybe they could get someone behind the half wall, for example, to be able to try and push in sooner. But I don't know. I'm not seeing it happen. They're not even hanging out behind the half wall this time. Or no, maybe they are with the bandits.
Yeah, I think we might have intact over there. He's just making sure that he won't get bandited or naded from underneath.
Yeah, I'm curious if he's going to go for the bandit tricking. But again, no Hibana. I feel like that's a mistake for both teams here, and that they're not capitalizing on that extra utility to be able to open up walls and put pressure from 2 sides. But nonetheless, Merciless have been doing just fine without it.
Now, Navi's was droned out inside of servers, and Jerry's going to be moving on over, I believe, to the west balcony.
They've got this dual roam downstairs we were talking about earlier. Is very impactful here. You don't see anyone being able to do anything about the floor below. Thatcher's not going to be shooting up at those batteries.
Now, Tech does get pulled off of the wall.
There we go, though. Maybe he actually EMP'd from below, though, and took them out.
A good kill, though, from Jerry onto Cyber. That's going to take out the Ela. I want to say that was probably underneath, but I don't have the exact location for that. That is underneath here.
So they're doing an okay job here. Still a minute 30 left. Not too bad of an attack here. They've got to make some good progress. If they can clear out that small office, I could see this actually working out in their favor. But it's not going to be an easy task. That 90-degree angle walking into that room can be difficult.
Yeah, especially because they don't have the utility downstairs that they need. I mean, typically you'll bring a buck, maybe you'll bring an IQ, or take your sledge down with the nades or with the utility of the shotgun. This time around, it doesn't look like they have that unless they're going to take spawns down. Because right now he's going to be outside of the west balcony. Instead, what we will see here is going to be Yuna try to hold on to the angle.
Oh.
Navi says, no, you might toss that smoke out, but I'll still get you through it. And here come the Candelas now. The push is going to come here shortly. PSK going to try to go for the shots, but it looks like the electric is going to actually down him, if not finish him off here. PSK does get taken out by that bandit battery. Jerry coming in hot with the refrag on it intact. It's 3-on-3 now, 30 seconds to go. Boar not the mirror, that's going to be the Legion, grabs a kill onto Revolt. Navi's gets taken out by Spawns, and now a 2-on-2, 20 seconds left. No more C4, PX goes down, and Jerry still trying to hold on the angle. The long angle is going to be Boar, and it looks as though yet again another kill by Jerry. I think that's a 3 or 4 kill for him on the round 5. Going to paiN Gaming, they haven't given up just yet.
Now, Jerry wasn't a Buck or an Ash, but he sure made it work. Getting those batteries out with his Thatcher for, without opening up below. Obviously, that gave them a little too much positioning power in that room by not being able to shoot the floor. But he did a great job holding that angle, and they kept contesting him on it, and he kept getting free kills. Them throwing their heads at that really is what caused the problem for them. They were out of C4. They didn't have a way to hit that sharp 90-degree angle to stop the push just to their left. So Jerry holding that angle made all the difference in the world in that attack. And he was down below before. Rotated up, did a great job at making that change at the last second. And that's what finally gave them their very first round. I'll give that to Jerry.
Yeah, that definitely was played out well by Jerry.
So that was close, though. Let's be honest. That could have gone either way towards the end. Had one of them been able to hit Jerry, especially the first one, the mirror pushing around the corner, had that mirror been able to land those shots, that could have gone completely different.
Well, I think Navi's kind of kicked it off very nicely by getting the kill onto the glass right after the smokes went down, because that ultimately that stops your quote-unquote easy smoke game.
Absolutely. I love the way he just kind of did a quick duck up and down, like sort of weaved his way over there, and just in doing so took advantage of slow reaction time. But that's what I mean. Like their glass unit just is not as strong on his reaction time, on his glass play, and maybe, I don't know, maybe they should put him on Blackbeard. Have him push the ventilation window like we used to see. We'll see what paiN can do here. Again, they have not been winning this upstairs defense. I really would have liked them, after winning their first point, to finally gone down to ventilation, the one site they've been able to win this season on border. But you never know. There's a chance here. They might have some momentum, some gusto now after getting that one round.
Now Spawns, unfortunately, I think he missed the Valkyrie camera that he wanted to get tossed out by the vent unit, so therefore he's going to back upstairs and basically call that a dud, if you will.
Yeah. That's going to be unfortunate because, them being so on edge right here, any mess up could be pivotal in terms of making it their final mess up on this map. We are going to see that Legion again, though. Again, as we were talking about last night, if it's not working, change it up. You need a second operator that you can play as part of your strat if Legion's not working out. Much like what was being said about Ying, I think is being forced a bit too much into the meta here for Latin America. In cases where he's not working.
Yeah, I feel as though, like we talked about earlier, is teams, we've seen more teams, and I hope to see more teams, that don't force an operator, whether it be new or old. I don't want to see people being forced to play something because it's what other teams do, because it's quote-unquote the meta. This game is in essence, a game that allows you to play these different operators and still formulate very effective strategies.
Yeah, speaking of the meta, we are seeing that Buck that we were talking about, something that is part of the meta that is effective, and we wished we had seen from paiN. We are seeing from Merciless, so they are going to have a lot more control over attacking that lockers room because they're going to be able to open up the floor. And it's not just about getting the wall open, it's about opening up the other side of the half wall, for example, down below, so they can't sit behind it. But a nice kill there out from Navi's.
There's going to be a good toss out. That's going to be one of the Candelas out and intact. Rushes on in, it looks like. He's going to be removed from play by Jerry. A 4-on-4. 50 seconds to go. C4 is going to get tossed on out. Misses the target. Cyber, though, has to get one of these goo mines out of his feet and then pushing even further. Spawn, however, is going to be tucked around inside of the archives. Navi's, though, gets a double kill there on the Jerry and Yona. Now we also got Revolt. He gets a refrag on the Navi's. With a 3-on-2 now and 30 seconds to go, Revolt is going to be playing this nice and easy inside of the middle dorms, or middle office.
One C4 left on Spawns here that could be important if he's able to get it off. He's going to try, though. Try and get Cyber if he can, because peeking him is a lot more risky.
Oh, Boar's going to come in through the middle, and it looks as though Revolt didn't see it in time. And there's going to be a refrag, but just not enough. That's going to be the C4 down off the board. Revolt's going to try to go for this kill into Cyber, but it looks at Cyber. He's peeking back and forth, and he does land the headshot that counts. Merciless Gaming will win 5-1 on map 1 in this best-of-3 series.
Like I was saying about Legion, you still saw Cyber get Goomined twice, and it didn't do anything. And I think the reason for that, and the reason I bring it up a lot, is because his effectiveness depends somewhat on him staying alive, because it's not just about poisoning someone and slowing them down. It's about that intel that you get, especially when smokes are on the board and you don't know where people are.
Yes.
Getting that intel, I know he's right there, and being set up for a wallbang with it. When you position those traps, if you're not positioning them smart and just hoping, oh, I'll just slow them down, that's really a waste of utility.
I agree to that. I think we aren't seeing the level of Legion play that we know exists, and I think it's just because he is that new operator that people are still trying to get a feel for how it's going to work. But anyways, let's take a look at some of the highlights here from our first map on Border.
There's going to be a few for Merciless, I imagine.
There's going to be quite a few from Merciless.
There we go.
First one's going to be Cyber here.
I get we've seen so much pivotal glass play today, and Cyber was no exception. Unfortunately, Yuna was just not pulling it off like we wanted to see. But these fights, spawns and intact, some great plays, especially on those smokes. Trying to get each other.
This was a wonderful nade toss by Navi's right up into the cocoon of Yuna.
Yeah.
He goes down.
He's a good buck player. I think he played some good buck play working down from below, especially that grenade kill there. Saw some okay Ella play as well in there, but not maybe as much as I expected to see in terms of those late flanks.
I agree. I think we've seen better Ella play in other series on other maps. I think here played a little bit more conservatively.
Yeah, I still think Cyber did a great job on both roles, though. And I think he was, as I mentioned earlier, one of the players to watch. Intact also had some great plays as well. And I think overall Merciless has it together a lot more. And we're seeing that. I do hope, now, obviously, as I was saying earlier, I think them losing so badly and not learning from the previous mistakes on Border bodes poorly for paiN going into the other map that they lost.
Yes.
So they're playing the exact same two maps they played and have not shown any adaptation to that.
It's telling.
Scared for them.
It's telling, and I think it means that Merciless is going to be favored on this map. Again, Chalet is going to be our second map.
Yeah.
And as you had stated 1 week ago, when we saw paiN Gaming play, they played on Border. They played on Chalet. They didn't do well.
No, this is not great for them. I think they did better almost on Border sometimes than they did on Chalet, and it's a situation where they're just. I can't imagine they're in a good place mentally right now after that loss. Either a 5-0 or a 5-1, sorry, that was barely the one.
Yeah.
Is going to be like really demotivating. So unless they really like worked on their Chalet, I can imagine they're going to carry the tilt into this.
I mean, the mental toughness of players is something that is expected to be in the Pro League. You need to have the mental toughness and the mental awareness to basically be like, yes, we're going to lose some rounds, we're going to lose some games, some by a lot, some by a little. And the teams that are great, the teams that are now going to be those top tier teams, they've got the players that can shrug off a bad round, that can shrug off a bad game and come right back at it. paiN Gaming, however, as much as they are known, as good as their players are, something tells me that they might be falling into this pit, and they might not have that mental toughness that I'm expecting them to have.
Well, one thing you're not even mentioning on the mental toughness thing is those teams that you're pointing out, like for example Penta, have a coach.
Yes.
Same with Rogue as well. So when you have a coach, that could be someone that gets you out of that place. And I think that's something more teams need to look at, even if it's just someone that's there to just motivate them, to just pump them up, to say, you know, we trained for this, guys. We know this map. It's fine. We can do this. Like, you guys are just making such and such mistake. You can correct that. I think teams really need to consider that. I'm sure there's more than enough volunteer coaches out there that you don't have to worry about paying, that are just willing to be that guy.
Yes.
And I think teams really need to consider that, because we're seeing mental toughness be a big part of this game. We're seeing sometimes the only times teams are making these comebacks and getting out of tilts is when there's a break in the game for some reason. And that shouldn't be the only time you get out of that.
No, you definitely need to be able to kick up the momentum into your favor midway through the game without any kind of hesitations or pauses.
Yeah.
But let's get underway, ladies and gentlemen, with our second map of the series. It's going to be on Chalet, paiN's going to be on attack, and Merciless is going to be on defense. We're going to go downstairs, I think it is, into the wine cellar and snowmobile garage for our first defensive hold.
That's something I was mentioning earlier, is garages have become a lot more of a thing now, especially, like, this didn't used to be the default. It was really about trophy before. I've seen a lot more teams make this their default. This is also paiN's default, this is the garage as well. And so I imagine we'll see trophies as just the secondary, but unless paiN has something better in store for garage, again, like on Border, they should consider changing it up because they weren't winning a lot of garage plays either on the previous map. Whereas I think Trophy's more defensible, especially if you don't stack yourself on a Trophy window on attack. Like, or I mean, especially when they do that, rather. Because we've seen some teams make that mistake big time. And this is a case where you still have to take control of Trophy when you attack this most of the time. So you still need to have a good Trophy attack. But in a situation like with the garage, you can put a lot more people on site and then have Cyber on that roam, for example, I think is going to be a big part of this. If he plays upstairs and is able to stick around upstairs and just buy his team time, it's going to make this garage attack hard. I like this change up here with these mute jammers. Interesting play, especially since they've got a mute and a bandit. I like seeing mute bandit combos because they deny so much stuff and force the Thatcher to be smart about how he's using it. And guess what? No Thatcher. So good luck to paiN on this.
I think part of the reason we might not be seeing a Thatcher is they were expecting that kitchen trophy, as you were saying. That seems to be what many teams used to do.
That's not the new meta anymore. So look at Cyber already just burning up this time upstairs like I was talking about. He could get himself pinched out. He doesn't have a drop hatch accessible to him at the moment. As I say that, of course, I guess he did open it, uses it, boom, escapes. Now he's done his job. Novi's, though, is going to be the man that's going to trick them here unless they drone ahead because he's going to surprise them with a late flank from the library. Honestly, in my opinion, don't take top floor unless you also take library at the same time. It just does not work as well, and I think Novi's is going to be critical here because they didn't take library. We'll see, though.
The roam game is a feature, or we'll call it an attribute of a defensive strategy on Chalet that can make or break your defense.
Especially with 3 stairwells.
Yes, 3 stairwells. They go top to bottom, all 3 of them. And Cyber and Navi's right now are being fantastic at trying to evade detection, trying to avoid being caught in the crossfire or being cornered, and they're using those stairwells to help alleviate some of that pressure.
I'm glad they at least brought Jackal. This is going to be the only equalizer they have against Cyber and Navi's right now, but I question how effective it's going to be if they can't execute on it. We'll see, though. They're at least getting some intel on where Cyber is right now. They know who that is. They know what he's doing. But they're not pinching him. They didn't take the library to take the top of Fireplace, and that's what's going to cost them here. I don't think they're going to get him.
Oh, they are going to down intact, though, downstairs inside of the storage closet. However, they don't know it just yet. 60 seconds left on the board, and it looks as though Cyber's still trying to bait out inside of the Fireplace right now.
Yeah,
Navi's still uncontested upstairs.
This is not going well. Like, it looks like it is, but it's not. This is going to backfire big time. Although that's a good kill from Spawns there. They are making successful progress on the wine cellar, but guess what? Novi's and Cyber are going to show up to change that. Yeah. There he goes already.
Cyber did manage to get downstairs, though, and so he's going to be back on site with the rest of his team. Boar, however, comes in loud and hard with 2 headshot kills, taking out 2 members from paiN. Cyber's also going to grab one onto Jerry, but PSK takes it on back, picking up 2 refrags on the board intact. It's going to be a 2-on-1, 3 health and a dream here for PSK, and 20 seconds to do it in.
And guess who's left? The 2 roamers.
2 roamers. Now, Cyber did get back on the site. Navi's still going to be roaming around, coming up top. And I think what we're going to be seeing here right now is just a delay in time. You've got the top drop hatch. They know it's all clear. No sound indicators that the diffuser is going to get planted. 5 seconds, and there it's going to be. Navi's goes, drops for the kill, and gets it. Merciless Gaming going up 1-0 here on Chalet.
I feel like Navi's probably could have come around from the stairs and been even more effective there on that pinch, but nonetheless, he won the gunfight.
Well, I think what was rather happening is he wasn't necessarily going for a crossfire. He wasn't going for a flank. Because there was no Valkyrie, because there were no cameras on that side of the map, you couldn't necessarily hear the plant go down. So you had the Ella, you had Cyber outside in Snowmobile Garage, but he was being very passive. He wasn't being over-aggressive.
Yeah. I mean, it worked out big time, though, for exactly what we were talking about. They left those 2 people left alive. It backfired on them big time, but also some great plays from Boar. I want to give some credit to him. He managed to land those 2 kills despite being just the mute in defending the site and really stalling it off to give Navi's and Cyber was already back on site, but to give Navi's a chance to get back towards site as well by causing that delay. PSK1 landing a nice kill, though, while kind of getting hit by the Ella mine was a nice shot. He put in a good effort, but alas, they just did not have a good top-down take, and you could see that just, well, it bore out there.
I agree with you with what you said earlier last round, and the fact that if you're going to take over top floor, you got to take over library and master bedroom at the same time, or at least take over library as a starting point, because that if you have control library, you can deny 2 stairwells instead of just 1.
Go back and look at the VODs of this season and previous seasons. Anytime you see an attack win, whether it even be on Garage, half the time it's because they started library. It just works way better. And hopefully we'll see that from Merciless. But nonetheless, I don't know if paiN have an effective defense here. We'll see. I mean, Garage is defensible and was pretty close last round towards the end there. But at the same time, it depends on how they want to attack this. Now, they're not bringing Thatcher as well in Merciless. They're instead bringing a Blackbeard, which is an interesting choice. We'll see how that pays out. But it looks like they're already going library because Navi's knows what he's doing here, and he's going to clear that out. And now it's going to be a big problem for this roamer. Doesn't land the shots, though.
No, that's going to be both of them going on out. Ella, however, will jump out, grab the kill into Navi's, but we already have PX there picking up the refrag as he's already holding onto the window. Revolts
living up to his name and just getting too greedy, jumping out that window. That was a huge mistake. You didn't need to land that kill. Bait it because there's a ladder.
Yep.
They can't climb up there any other way. You had an easy kill. Speaking of easy kills.
I mean, he could have fallen off of the balcony, but still, you're right. They could have waited and not been as aggressive.
Yeah. So it was definitely, and it's backfiring. Backfired a little bit, but nice kill though onto Intact is going to hurt a little bit. Losing that buck, they're going to lose some of the top-down control. So between the buck and the Ash, that's a lot of like breachability that's lost off the board. And I'm not sure what this Blackbeard's for, but at least they have the Thermite, right? Had they lost the Thermite, this would be going even more in the favor of paiN.
Now, Thermite was out by Snowmobile Garage. There is no Mute, there is no Bandit, so that Garage will get opened up if they actually go over and want to get rid of it.
Yeah.
But the top floor control has not been gained just yet because Eunice is still there. And it looks as though from the back stairwell, PSK is able to drop Cyber.
So far, I'm really liking what paiN's doing for the most part. Merciless is just not being as methodical. And now that they've lost a lot of their manpower, they don't seem to know what to do in terms of making these collapse on these roamers, clear these floors. No map control and a minute 13 left. I don't see this progressing much other than a few trades.
There it is, Boar and Yuna going back and forth, trying to just play Pixel Peaks and play Ring Around the Fireplace. And it looks as though Boar will come out on top, scathing a couple shots there onto Yuna. However, with a little bit of engagement here between PSK and PX, PX went down quite a bit of health, but he does manage to land the headshot when it counts, and now we're looking like it's going to be a 3-on-2. 45 seconds left to go, and as I say that, Boar the Blackbeard will go down by Yuna by the fireplace.
Now he's going to give away his position here by setting that off. They're going to know he's there. Yuna's going to be flanking him. Can he land the shots? Yep.
There it is, and that's going to be the pre-fire. That's going to be the round number 2, going into the hands of paiN Gaming, and now it's a 1-1 here.
I think that's one of the very first gunfights I've seen Legion win. So good job on Yuna there, finally winning one of those. Nicely played. paiN, that's what I want to see more of. That was a well-executed defense. They played the roams really well and smartly and held them back for the most part. A little aggressive revolts on that jump out. That was a mistake, but the rest of the way it was played, you even saw the Legion playing this very flex roam, creeping around different places. They didn't seem to know where to go once they lost the manpower, and that's what it came down to was some of those early kills that they made, those 2 early kills, changed everything. Losing that gunfight and what you should have had an easy advantage on shooting in the library, that's what cost Merciless the round, in my opinion. Had they won that gunfight, I could have seen it going completely the other way.
Definitely. No, I agree with you there.
We'll see. Well, I mean, we're going up the trophy now for the first time, Merciless having won the Garage. They got to go up now. So we'll be interested to see how they defend this, whether or not they can do it successfully. I do hope we don't see paiN throwing themselves in through trophy window, as we've seen other teams do. Doesn't seem to be effective as much as we'd like. But if they go, I would hope they would go for the typical top-down attack on this, take Master and Library, and push their way down. That seems to work pretty well. Now they bring the Thatcher on this.
So what I'm thinking about here is with Mira being chosen for this bomb site, where are they going to play it? Are they going to be taking control and holding on to the top floor, which is generally where we see those mirror windows? Because let's face it, you don't necessarily want to stick your mirror windows on the trophy room window or trophy room wall facing the lobby, because that will get opened up.
Yeah, no, it's a very interesting question because there's not a lot of effective places for it on this bomb site, and it didn't look like they were setting up upstairs. So it is very curious what they plan to do with that. I hope that wasn't a mistake where they changed bomb sites last second or something, but there's not, if they're planning to do gaming room. I like that shot by Yuna there. But, oh no, as he falls down.
Yuna, no.
There's one for the highlights.
That's going to waste up about 30 seconds of time. No, that's going to waste probably about 40 because they have to run all the way back over. That's also, I think, the diffuser that's been downed. So
Oh man, if they lose this round, they're going to be yelling at him. I tell you what.
that's a good 30 seconds or so spent trying to go over, pick him back up, and then reposition yourself. Not to mention the information that you now lost, allowing the defenders to rotate on over.
I like.
Fortunately, though,
Yeah.
Navi's was taken down, so man count is in favor of paiN right now.
And they are at least clearing the library with flashes, trying to push it up properly, but they've got to make up for a lot of lost time. Revolts looks like he's trying to get aggressive as well, potentially here. Oh, I hope that wasn't an accident again.
Now, we do have over half the round to still go. We are going to have all 4 defenders on the main floor. Looks as though Cyber's going to get spotted out inside of the bar as Yuna is at the display case window, trying to push in forward. Revolt getting that kill onto the Ella. Cyber goes down.
I like that they jackaled the Ella and then took him out. Like, boom, got that ping. Let's do this. Revolt's definitely making up for previous play here. So far, looking good. paiN actually coming on strong on this map so far, despite falling to the ground. I'm happy with this, but a minute 15 left. Progress needs to be made here in terms of getting down one more site defender, and then they can collapse on this.
Now the floor is going to get opened up. No, it's not. That's just the door that's been opened up here.
There we go.
Oh, no, that's 2 breaching charges.
Oh, it still hits.
2 breaching charges are going to go on the main bar, or the main wooden bars, basically, on the ground, and therefore it won't open up the bottom half of those floors.
They might want to bring Buck next time.
So we have seen these mirror windows here.
Interesting. I like what they're trying to do. I kind of hope it works just so we have some new interesting ideas, but so far they're down to just 3 people left. Not looking likely. Nice C4 throw.
C4 toss falling out. It's going to get Yuna. You still are going to have PSK and Jerry moving forward. Jerry's going to get taken out as well. PX going to be here with about 11 bullets into the mag. He's going to reload. Turns his back on over. PSK picks up the kill with spawns. That was all up to Boar. In a 1-on-3, the plan's going to go down here momentarily by PSK, who's going to go right into the corner of Kitchen. You've got Revolts outside of the trophy window. Seeing as how that just opened up, that tells Boar that they are inside a kitchen. They're inside a dining. Boar's going to get tagged from the side. PSK's going to move back over. Go for a little peek here.
Oh.
Still eat a couple bullets but not go down. Time is dwindling away. Spawns has the crossfire. Revolt is also inside a trophy. And he's going to go over to the mirror window, calls for it, and gets the kill. And that's going to be it here. paiN Gaming takes round number 3, goes up 2-1.
This is looking good for them. I like what they're doing here. They're making the smart change-ups. Doesn't seem like Merciless has his map down as well. Maybe that's why they picked this map. Maybe Merciless just doesn't have it down as well as paiN Gaming should have previously. Seems to now. Despite some mistakes in some of these rounds, they're seeming to really take them strong. That was 5-man coming at them. I liked what they were trying to do, though, with the lay down there with the Mira, the C4 kill, and then the follow-up kill. Shouldn't have run away. He should have stuck that, and I think he could have got that kill. Even if he was reloading or pulled out his pistol, he could have made that kill potentially on PSK, or at the very least, done a few damage.
Yeah, I agree with you there. I think part of it, though, was the delay that PSK gave after both his teammates were taken out, one by the C4, then Jiri by the Vector. I think we had PSK delay enough that it caused the Mira to double think, and that's what ended up winning that little engagement.
Yeah, and it's hard, right, when you're in a situation like that to make that kind of tactical decision. He got 2 kills, though, so I'm going to give him all the credit, regardless of getting killed by that third guy. He did a great job. So this is paiN. Going to have to change things up a little bit here, now that they have to go on Trophy. So we'll see if they can hold Trophy as well as they managed to hold Garage. They are changing things up a little bit in terms of they are bringing a Pulse now from Jerry. We'll see if he's playing, for example, the dining and then the kitchen, which we typically see from a Pulse. They also have Revolt to go on that roam again. Probably see him upstairs, maybe in Master or in Library. But I'd like to see him actually play from downstairs and come up from one of the stairs there, because they're not going to be as important for them to take the upstairs or the downstairs as it is the upstairs. I like that Cyber, though, trying to take advantage of his glass skill to see if he can get some early cheeky peeks into the kitchen window.
You can see what he's trying to do here. He's trying to hop up, get this vault spot up onto the larger of the big rocks. Apparently, that's a little jump trick that you can do.
I would say that's burning a lot of time, but he's the glass. He's meant to kind of hang back a little bit at the beginning anyways. So not a big deal. Now see, can they clear out Yuna here? Or is this Legion Traps actually going to slow them down and delay them? No, missed shots.
There it is. Navi's will pick up the kill there onto Yuna. Legion going down. I don't feel like Legion should be one of your roamers.
No, as we talked about before, he's better to be on site, recharge those things, get the intel, throw out a few at the beginning, right? Just a couple to get them set up, and only rotate around late if you need to get some more set up. It's just too risky, and you can't win gunfights, so you're not a good roamer.
I do like the usage, though, of Boar on IQ here, staying inside of the gaming room, trying to figure out
IQ
where
we've seen.
those Ella mines are, where those goo traps might have been laid on down.
Smart changeup. First IQ we've seen today, and it was one that he decided was a good play based off of knowing what they do, as opposed to bringing a Thatcher, just getting intel on what to avoid. We'll see if it works out for him, as they do have the man advantage right now, and they've lost Legion. I wouldn't say big loss, but it is a man advantage nonetheless, and that's a lot less intel and slowdown you're going to get on your team.
Now, looks as though Navi's might be trying to challenge downstairs onto Revolt. I think Revolt is inside of the wine cellar.
And that's what I was saying I think he should do. I think he should play downstairs, because it's upstairs, you know he's going to get challenged and cornered out if they're smart and take library. In this case, they did, so he's better off down and rotating up through one of the 3 stairwells late to surprise them. But they did bring a buck here, so I think Intact's going to do a good job with that. But
nope.
As I say that,
the C4 from Pulse underneath. Jerry doing a wonderful job.
So that's a good change, bringing that Pulse here. That was a smart play on their operator selection here. But now Navi's got to contend with the Revolts. Let's see if this works.
Okay, he did spot him. Navi's did see him. So he's going to move on forward, try to challenge him out inside of the garage now.
Oh, this is a hard T, though.
He doesn't know exactly which one to go for, and it looks as though Revolts might come out on top. We'll have to see if Navi's not. I think Navi's knows. Navi's knows Revolts, okay? He's not going to go up top. Revolts is going to stay down here, and Navi's knows it.
20 seconds or less left, too, for this showdown to happen here. Desperation going to kick in for Navi's first.
There it is. However, Revolt comes out of the clutch, comes out on top there. Now a 2-on-3. Spawns goes down, and now we have a 2-on-2. 3 seconds to go, and round will go in favor here of paiN Gaming, because they don't have enough time to get to the barbed wire into the bomb site and plant it. And that means round 4 will go to paiN Gaming. It's going to be 3-1 in their favor.
Looking good for paiN. So I will backpedal slightly on what I said about Border being an indicator of this map. I am impressed with what they've done. They've changed some things up. They're playing a lot smarter than they did last time. So regardless of Border, they have at least made changes here. I'm liking what I'm seeing, what they're doing with these changes as well. Not always 100% effective. Not always great in terms of, like, you know, using the Legion, for example. But nonetheless, they're coming out on top, and that's what matters. Cyber not being as effective on the Glacier, still doing some good work as well, but he was a big game changer in a lot of ways on Border, and because he's not getting that effectiveness on this map, I think we're seeing problems with it.
Yep, and it looks as though we might be seeing a rehost here by Merciless.
Well,
so that was paiN Gaming turning it around, and apparently not liking the outcome of the first game on the Border.
Yeah, no. I mean, this is Merciless's chance to recollect themselves.
Yes.
Maybe have that coach that they needed, because they could be the ones on tilt now. Having come up with a strong 5-1 on Border, they had to be swinging confident in this. And then, you know, I think they even won the first round on Chalet here, and we're like, oh, we got this, you know, whatever. And paiN's like, we learned a few things. Let's see what works. And so far, success. However, I honestly, after a break now, and Merciless, if they reflect on what they were doing wrong, I expect we're going to see a few comeback rounds from Merciless at the very least now.
I think they need to recollect themselves, and I think this will give them that opportunity too. I mean, ultimately, we talked earlier before this second map started, how paiN didn't seem like they had worked on the opportunities they had missed 2 weeks ago when they played, or last week when they played, and so we are kind of seeing that on Chalet. We are starting to see that, yes, they have reworked some of the things. They have engaged in a little bit more opportunistic type of play style. We saw, like we said, the jump out on Library. Yes, he got the kill. He got traded down. But ultimately what I think that goes to show is they know what opportunities they need to take.
Yeah. I mean, I think they're definitely showing a better aggression control than they used to. The realms are a lot better this time. I still would say, like, take the Legion and switch it out for a mute, even on this, because you could deny a lot to help that roamer, to help the Ella roam around successfully, or to even deny a library attack, for example, to stall out the library and master. Just cut off as much as you can at the beginning, slow them down, And that, I think, will be a lot more effective than what they're doing with Legion right now. I mean, there's other choices as well.
Yeah, I mean, we were on the topic of Legion earlier and saying how we don't feel like he's being used to his full potential. I think to kind of correlate that to a previous operator that we had seen on this map in particular, on Chalet, is Fuse.
Yeah.
When Fuse first got buffed, his buff was he got one more cluster charge, and the cluster charge radius increased, the kill radius as well as the damage radius. What people instantly went to was, let's go and kill people with these cluster charges.
Yeah.
Instead of let's use them to disorient and force the defenders to move and change locations and relocate, which is one of the biggest things that you need to have happen on a kitchen and trophy room hold. Is you want to get the defenders out of their corners, whether it be in trophy, whether it be in dining, so you can push in from that way. And I feel like the underutilization of Fuse, or the misuse of Fuse, is kind of what we're also seeing here with Legion, the misuse of Legion not being used to its full potential.
And what's interesting about the Fuse thing, too, is we've seen far, far less Fuse this season.
Yes.
Which surprises me because they actually made a small, I would call it a buff in a way, change in that they made his took out the RNG on the pucks. So now you can practice plant spots to know exactly how they're going to clear the room below. I mean, obviously you still need to be precise with how you place them, but now you actually have more control out of Fuse, and we're still seeing less use of him despite his effectiveness.
You've got less, so yes, you've got more control with him, as well as now that kind of quote-unquote Jaeger has fallen out of the meta, that would be another indicator that, yes, you might want to start looking at Fuse again and try to reincorporate some strategies.
Not to mention what we've talked about with many times with using Ying's thing as a Fuse thing, or in combination with Fuse, especially in this map. I'm honestly disappointed we haven't seen a Fuse Ying attack on this map. Combine that with Buck, and once they get master control, like, you're done, and a lot of the floor down below is just over for you. But we're not seeing that. We haven't seen that this season yet, really.
No, I think, I mean, we still have to take for granted, or we can't take it for granted that these new operators are still new.
Yeah.
And so we're coming up with things just as much as the pros are.
Absolutely.
We're trying to figure out where can we see these strategies develop in a season, in 2 seasons, once these operators have come into the mix and we still have, quote-unquote, a standard meta that this is viable for.
Yeah. I mean, we'll see. It will continue to evolve. And the nice thing is the finals tend to be where people bring out the stuff they just did not touch during the play days. So we could also be seeing a lot of reserve strategies during the season, stuff that we don't expect. And this is them, like you said, working out the new operators and things like that. So I expect come finals, there's going to be some serious, hopefully quality use of the new operators, or at least deciding where they make sense and where they don't to pick other ones.
I agree with you there. I think talking about the LAN events and having that 3-4 week gap from the end of the season, the end of the playoffs, to LAN, allots for so much more development. I mean, we talked about it in interviews last season before we actually got to the LAN event. We talked, I think it was with King George, or might have been Hot and Cold, or Mint, someone from North America. They said you have to throw out everything.
Yeah.
You have to throw out everything you laid on the table during playoffs. You have to throw out everything, and you have to recreate brand new strategy. You have to recreate a brand new functional team for LAN, because the LAN teams are going to dig into every single piece of information they can gather from you.
Absolutely, and that's the benefit or the downside of winning. You can be a victim of your own success because you're showing what doesn't work. Whereas if you show, you're showing what does work. If you show what doesn't work, then you're in a situation where you know you're going to do something different because you got to correct it. Well, hopefully, so it's a situation where they have. Yeah, they may study your weakness, but assuming you correct it, then that gives them nothing. So, yeah, if you win the whole time, that's a lot of information. And we saw that, especially as I mentioned last night with Excellence as well and Penta. They won, like with dropping one map the entire season.
Yes.
That gave a whole lot of information to Penta, and so that was definitely the case. And so I hope that paiN showing that they can learn here, in this case, whether they win this or not, show some adaptability if they can continue to build on that, and then maybe if they don't make it this season, next season, be able to step things up a bit and then be smart about how they manage what they show and what they don't. We could see some good changes from them, but I don't know. They may make roster changes now or between now and then, anyways.
I would like to know how paiN prepared for this series. Like, yes, we talk about how they didn't do well last week against their opponent. So I'd like to know what specifically did they do. Yes, they're going to go back. They're going to watch their VODs. I'd like to know what did they feel was the most important thing to work on. What were some of their biggest opportunities they identified that they didn't necessarily capitalize on?
Yeah.
It's a shame we don't get that kind of information. I would like it. I would love to have that chance and that opportunity. But again, guys, we did have a rehost earlier, so we are just waiting for the teams to funnel back in. It was 3-1 in favor of paiN, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, they were coming on strong. They only lost the first round, and then I think that makes it 3 rounds in a row for them, winning both their attacks and their defenses. So this is looking good for paiN in theory. And again, I feel like a lot of times when we have these breaks, it is a good opportunity for the other team to really recollect themselves. And Merciless has shown, at least on Border, they have a tendency to be good and methodical when they have a plan. It is possible they have less good plans, to put it that way, for Chalet. That's just not working out. So I would hope they have other plans they could switch to, or at least they can spot the mistakes that they've made so they can go, okay, obviously paiN's playing this differently than they did last time. So whatever we thought we knew about that, we've got to throw out the window. We've got to focus on what we know they're doing this time. And they have a good opportunity to swing this back coming out of this break.
One of the things, and you kind of touched upon it before with regards to a coach, is having these mid-game analysis for teams. And it's yes, a coach has many different functions, one of which is to help get their team out of a slump, get their team back on track mentally. But another thing, we've seen this before, is if a team's losing a particular site, let's say we're on Border, a team keeps losing that top floor bomb site, what'll happen is they'll go to their secondary bomb site. They'll spend a round on that, and that will give a coach or a manager or their sub, whoever it may be, their analyzer, to go through, pick out what issues they had, correct it mid-game.
Yeah.
And that allows them to come back even stronger than before. And
I would hope that more teams take advantage of that, like we were saying earlier, because it's something they should be able to take advantage of.
Yes.
I was doing coaching before I did this, and I did that real time with GoFors, where we were watching it, let them know, hey, here's what you're doing wrong, here's what you're doing right, listen to the comms, let them know where they're getting tilted or what's the problem, and it helps. It really does, because it's hard to be objective, especially when you only have one point of view, and if a coach can see multiple point of views or just be able to at least be more objective about it, that's a great way to get out of the tilt, because if you can just pinpoint what you're doing wrong, as opposed to focusing on your performance of how you did it wrong, then that could be a big game changer for you. But that being said, there's also the flip side of that. paiN can now think about and reflect what they're doing well and continue to do that and not slip into a sloppy overconfidence at this point.
Yeah, I agree with. I think paiN, I think they needed that break in between map 1 and map 2. They got that little break.
Yeah.
Now they're back at it here, and I think the more time that paiN has to recollect themselves, to reflect on the issues from the previous map, I think the stronger they're going to become.
Yeah.
It's been apparent throughout the first 4 rounds of this map, and it's basically up to Merciless Gaming to basically put a stop to it.
Yeah.
Because right now, paiN's running away with this map.
I mean, normally I'd say I'd like paiN to try a bar gaming or something to throw it off, but I don't know, they're kind of too far into losing in terms of it being 3 points, almost match point, to where if they give up that bar gaming, I mean, they do it and they lose it, then they're at match point and they have to win 3 rounds in a row to come back from that.
Yes.
So that's probably too risky. We saw Merciless, I believe, was the team that threw on Oregon by doing a watchtower late.
They did. And I think it was like already 3-1 or something like that.
Yeah, and so it's exactly the same situation. So, again, I liked that they wanted to do something different, but maybe now it's too late.
It might be too late, but we are going to take a look at it here because it is going to be round number 5. We're heading back into the game here on Chalet. And it looks as though we are going to have paiN again on attack and Merciless on defense. They are going to go downstairs this time.
Yep, and they are bringing a mute again and a bandit, so something that I guess didn't work for them too well. Or no, I think the one that first round was on defense, right? So it did actually work. So they're doing the thing that worked well, provided they can stop the top-down attack. I mean, it got a little desperate on some of the attack previously. We'll see
this is where Navi's and Cyber were roaming upstairs for the entire round, and we did not have paiN Gaming pressure them enough to actually force them to go back downstairs.
That's right. Yeah, that was very effective. I would like to see paiN learn from that and clear the top a little bit better, control the stairs a little bit better, so that when push comes to shove, they can manage to actually control their attack and not get flanked on it or not get surprised from other angles. Then again, we also had some great play by Boar that helped save the day on that as well. So, you know, assuming we see some great play from him as well, that's something they've got to worry about with that great mute. This is risky.
Very risky here. Cyber, unfortunately, going to give away his position. But again, that little run out, it wasn't overly risky because it was very quick.
Yeah.
It was something that was 3 seconds into the beginning of the round. He was looking to just get a quick peek and move back in sight.
That's smart to do after a break because you know they're impatient to get back into the game. You know they're going to be a little less cautious approaching the building. So I think that was actually a smart idea to catch them off guard. I got to give them credit. Like, I think that was a well-chosen time to do it, and it didn't backfire. So that's really what matters, right? Did it work? Did it backfire? No. Okay, you're good then. However, they know that people are still doing runouts here, getting alerted on it. It's definitely throwing them off a little bit. You see how cautious Yuna's being now. But they are actually bringing a Thatcher this time on this attack. So that was something they didn't do previously. They're actually going to open the garage door again, or at least I think they are, something they didn't do previously. If they could take Library and open that garage door, this might go in their favor.
Now what we are seeing here is drones basically identifying where those roamers are. They know one's going to be in Library. The windows had already been opened up. They also saw Cyber out by the office balcony on L. So what that's telling them, I believe, is they need to get up into Library.
They really do. That's what it comes down to time and time again because it works. We've seen it work even in this match here. It's an important point of taking this map. It's not like a real big decision in my opinion. And I like that Spawns did it. I'm glad he's taking control of it now because, again, this is favoring paiN now because they're making smart decisions. They changed up their operators. They're playing it better. You see Novi's starting to get nervous right here.
He's being droned out by Jackal. He's being spotted out by Jackal there.
Ooh, Cyber though.
Nice cross there. Grabbing it onto Revolt.
That's the Hibana too, so had they not used the utility for it, that could actually be a big problem, but Spawns. Nicely done.
That was Cyber getting a little bit too aggressive, trying to challenge onto the Jackal.
Yeah,
Yuna, though, tries to go down the back stairs. He gets taken out here, and that's going to be Navi's picking up the kill. Jerry, though, he's already gotten some 2 kills there, right onto Intact and Navi's.
He's got a C4 left as well, but he doesn't want to blow up the barbed wire, trying to hold a nice angle. There's that hatch.
The drop hatch of bar has been opened up. Garage, I don't think has. So PX is going to stay around by the snowmobile and by the garage.
This is definitely coming down to the wire. 30 seconds, which is actually enough time for them to push in on this, but it looks like they're having to reposition for the attack. They actually were just baiting it out, switching around to garage here. Interesting choice.
This is going to be very, very quick. They have to move forward. PSK is going to get this garage opened up, forcing PX to get on out of garage. It's going to make him move on. Oh, he's going to stay close. He's going to stay very close here. 10 seconds to go.
C4.
PSK isn't going to look for it. He's not going to toss the C4. He's going to look here for the vector kill. Spawn's already coming in through. He's waiting for it. He's waiting for it. Look at this. 1 second to go. He's going to grab it. PX. What a kill. What? Just control. What? Oh, my Lord.
Wow.
PX, wonderful job. PSK, unfortunately, assuming that the corner was clear and wasting too much time to go around for that repush.
That was amazing by PX. Just because, like you said, that restraint.
The restraint, the control, the determination to know. Honestly, that's balls of steel right there.
That is, I would not think that in a situation where they're losing on points, you would even risk that. But he won the round by doing that right there. That was like an echo delay, but far, far riskier. So, very impressive. That was down to the wire. I really honestly thought paiN could win that, but the fact that they burned so much time kind of left them in a bad situation because they weren't able to kind of push as aggressively as they wanted to because of time. So the fact that they rotated around was a nice idea, but actually it's really what burned them in the end.
Yeah, it did burn them. They did a nice job. I would have assumed they'd go for a possible back stairwell push. They knew that one was going to be by the garage, you would assume, as well as inside of the wine cellar.
Yeah. I think a wine cellar push might have been better at that point, as they've been a little more successful with that. So, again, that break obviously helped Merciless a little bit, but I do like paiN's execution up to that point. I think they still came on very strong. I do think they still have good potential. Question is, can they defend this successfully again? Again, Yuna not changing off that Legion. So, I don't know. We'll see. Not that paiN's been doing a bad job on their defenses. They've been winning a lot of them, so. As again, it's probably going to come down to the roam game. See how well Yuna can delay up in Library. See if he can stall that out a bit. If they even push that, looks like they might. Intact wants to at least. But it is risky. Not sure you saw Yuna there.
I think he did. He's going to toss out one grenade, go for the toss, and just barely misses him. But Navi's was able to get up on top of the ladder.
Yeah, that does help, right? You push him back, and then now you can get up the ladder. That was a nice teamwork effect there. Ooh. But now he's forced out of library. They don't know it just yet. So the drone's doing their work, but there was a latent mine, got him. So Yuna rotating all the way back downstairs is good here. Liking what paiN's doing still. But now the slowdown comes where drones are going to come out. Merciless not going to take too much advantage of their top floor control yet, as they're feeling very cautious with Ella still on the board as well as PSK and spawns.
So now we've got control of library here for Merciless. They're going to work their way down Fireplace, and ultimately the roamers have gone back on the site. Garage sounds like it's been opened up here.
A lot of shots going down and no one dying yet. This is going to come down to the wire if progress isn't made soon. But I like that Merciless is getting map control. That's exactly what they need. But they've got to have a plan for how they're going to put the pressure down. When you've got to fight 5 in the last minute, you've got to have a solid strat. Looks like they're setting up for it right now. Hatch is starting to get opened. Floor starting to get opened. Vertical play going to come in big time here. Oh. Really
there it is. We are going to have the floor get opened up. 60 seconds to go. We still have some C4. I was going to say we still have some C4 getting tossed on out. Looks as though I think that was Jerry might have tossed one through. The SMG-11, though, from PSK will take out Novies for the kill. A couple shots going down through the floor Fireplace. I think there's going to be one of those Candelas, though.
That might have even been like Fuse style.
Oh, we saw this before. We saw this Congo line going up and try to flank around.
Yep.
They did it before, and I don't think it worked out for them.
Nope.
But we are going to try to see this again. Yuna going to lead the train in through dining.
This is the time to do it when you have the man advantage and they are at a time disadvantage. However, you got to be able to get back to site if you need to.
Now, Intact is going to look in through here. PX, however, is got to pull out the goo trap from his foot. He's going to go in for the plant here momentarily. Boar picks up the kill on Yuna. He was going to be the flanker, but it doesn't go down for him. 10 seconds to go. It's a 3-on-4 now. Candela's going on out. Plant's going to try to go down, and it does not just yet. And it looks as though there's going to be some kills back and forth. Revolt takes out Boar. Cyber with a 2 or 3K, but he's in connector. He can't plant. He can't, tries to move on forward. He's got to back on up, pick up that diffuser, and that is not enough time to go. And we are going to see the defenders win this round, and that's going to be paiN Gaming, I believe that is, going up 4-2 now.
That is a good match point to be at. paiN definitely playing that well. I like the methodicalness of MG, and I like the way that they were trying to use that top-down control. You even saw Buck open up the floor and shoot the mirror window out. So there was some nice strategy there, but paiN just took full advantage of the time they had left, for sure. And I would say those goo mines almost came into play. Like, they did slow them down slightly, but you saw them even just pushing through those and saying, forget it, I'm just going to keep moving forward.
I mean, I think the goo mines actually played a vital role in that one because it forced I think it was Jackal, whoever actually came from Garage, try to go for the first plant. He needed to spend those 3-4 extra seconds to move in forward, get that goo mine out. That ultimately gave enough time for the rest of the defenders to get him killed. And then they had to push even further. The diffuser finally tried to go down inside a connector. Can't do that. And that's what ended up losing the round for him.
And that was also a round where Yuna was still alive for a while. Speaking of Yuna as well, we're going to see that fuse we were talking about from Yuna. So hopefully that's going to be effective here, and it will shut it out and take it to map 3 if it is. But it's hard to say. Interesting spots there, the way they're opening up the floor through another barbed wire. Trying to get a good setup going here for this defense because they know it's their last chance to stick around on this map before they go to map 3. Cyber's going to be the one to try and get for sure here. Now, bringing a fuse, though, means they're going to probably push in at least from Master, if not from Master and Library.
Yeah, they have to go for a top 4 push here, and ultimately, you need to go for both or at least Library if you want to force them out.
And both generally works really well. It gives them nowhere to hide. Even if they escape, it takes top floor control quickly, and then, again, control the stairwells from there, and you have a lot of power at that point. But I'm not sure they're going to make it that far.
We actually are going to see the LMG be used here on Fuse, which is not a general pick. You will typically see that AK-47.
The AK is good, for good reason. Yeah. But this can be very effective for wallbanging, I suppose, doing a lot of shooting through the floor if you want to just try and clear out the room. Oh, this is risky, though. Trying to take it from this window. You may get a free kill if you're lucky, but Cyber's not going to give it away.
Oh, no. The fuse goes down. That's going to be one of the pivotal points here for paiN and their strategy. Unfortunately, Cyber had something to say about that. He nicks him on down on the top of the balcony.
That's why you generally don't take from that angle, but Cyber at least gets traded, though, so that's nice.
Revolt trying to come in from the outside balcony of Office. Novi's, though, going to take out Spawns on the frag.
Man advantage finally. And, oh, as I say that.
The refrags coming back and forth, and here it is yet again, more of them. Boar peeking on out of the Office doorway to take out Revolts.
They do not want to be out of this just yet. They've got the man advantage now. Still plenty of time for the attackers, though, so I wouldn't say this is fully in MG's hands just yet. Although it is down to a Hibana and a Thatcher here against some good operators left, though, with some good firepower. The MP7, the SMG-11, and that Vector, all great guns to defend this. So, and they are getting a little stalled out, but that is for the best because they're doing some droning now, making sure they know what they're going to be up against as they start to push in because they don't have a lot of firepower left.
Yeah, there's not enough drones and not enough information for paiN Gaming to basically spot Boar out. This is going to be up to Boar to basically get the timing correct, stop this push coming in from Fireplace. He's going to peek up in about, I'm going to say 4 seconds. He's going to see Jerry, goes for the kill, goes for two,
double.
gets them both, and a wonderful frag, double frag here by Boar. Merciless Gaming trying to come on back. It's 4-3 now.
That's the second twofer we've seen Boar get, and that is a nice one. He let him even line up for him. Didn't even have to like really adjust his aim, just crept right up their bodies. A nice save by Boar, and that's going to bring it a lot closer to them staying in this map. I mean, they won the first map, though, so 5-1. They're still going to be feeling good even if they drop this map. I mean, I'm not sure if the third map's going to go in their favor or not, but they're definitely showing that break helped, right? They won the next 2 rounds after the break.
It went back forth, back
right?
forth.
Oh, no, that's right.
Yeah.
They got one. paiN got one of those. Still, though, swinging fairly strongly in MG's favor. We'll see if they can make the adjustments. Now they're back on trophy for paiN.
Now the goo traps are going to get laid on out here. See, to me, I'd like to see where Yuna actually places all of his goo traps, because right now he placed his first one down inside a kitchen.
Yeah.
In all honesty, that'd be one of the last spots I would put one down if I'm anticipating myself staying alive. Yeah. I'd like to use those goo traps further out if that's your goal.
Well, at this point, you should have some idea how they're going to attack this, and you can adjust accordingly. You can know which stairs they're going to use, for example. The stairs are a great place to throw them because it's a choke point that you know they're going to move up or down somewhat quickly and get stalled out on, and then you might be able to collapse on them with that information. But again, yeah, we're not sure exactly where he's placing those. It's hard to tell how effective he's really going to be. But he needs to stay alive if he wants to get actual intel from them, because the rest of your team won't see those disappear. Like Cyber trying to climb these rocks again.
There's the successful leap. Now what he's doing up here is he's still playing up on the quote-unquote balcony level, but he's getting a lot tighter of an angle down onto the fridge of A.
I'm interested to see if this works out for him. He's going to try and contest Yuna, at least put some pressure on here. That's going to distract Yuna if Boar can push from the other side, for example, help clear out library. I like that these trees give him some extra defense as well. Although with lighting changes, it isn't as hard for the defenders to try and do something about him being there.
We still have Cyber here up on top of, what do we want to call that rock? I've never actually called that rock before.
I thought that was Pride Rock.
I thought
it was one of those rocks there.
I was getting it mixed up. I was thinking Pride Rock was by Campfire.
You know, it could be as well.
It could be, whatever.
The circle of life, yeah. What can you do? But Boar pushing in his Jackal here, not going top floor is interesting. You just want to try and sneak his way in as best as possible. Not catching any footprints, though. Fortunate for him, he's going to actually have to use the old school method of an actual drone to figure out where they're at.
Now just over half the round remaining here for paiN Gaming to defend the kitchen and trophy. And PSK is going to be staying put inside a trophy.
So far, a lot of stalling out here. I think the defenders are doing a good job. paiN might be able to close this out if MG can't start making serious progress and get some kills within, say, the next 30 seconds here. Yuna's actually getting a lot of flexibility to move around as well, playing a roam game. Again, not the best roamer, but at least he's alive at this point. Still got 2 goo mines left even. We could see those come into effect later on if he's able to place them without dying.
There are 2 roamers underneath. It's PSK and Spawns. And right now, I'm sorry, it is Revolt and Eunice. They are not being contested at the moment. Yes, Novi's was down there, but I don't know how much pressure he can do on a cross-firing defensive squad down there.
Yeah, with all these... Oh, there goes the pulse, though. That's going to hurt a little bit. That's a good start for pushing this dining room. Hopefully, Eunice was smart and put the goo mines on that double door, but it doesn't look like he did, and that's going to be a big problem for them.
Now we do have 35 seconds left to go, and the push is going to come in from dining. They're going to go into kitchen. It's going to be Cyber leading the way with the smoke grenades. He's going to miss the shot there onto PSK, who then takes his head off. Boar's going to move in forward, take out Yuna, but PSK and Spawn's going to come in hot with intact. Boar and PX all going down. Nobody's going to try to land it onto Spawns. He does, but Revolt will take the final kill from paiN onto MG, and we are going to have paiN Gaming win map number 2. We're headed to the third and final map onto Consulate.
So that was an excellent switch up there by paiN.
Yes.
Despite the break in the middle and Merciless getting a little bit better, managing to bring up a couple rounds at least, paiN definitely seemed like they learned, and I got to give credit where credit's due. I think they did an excellent job on the map. There were some small changes I would like to see, but overall, I was impressed, and I hope they
did
take
a
the third
lot
map.
more of a turnaround than I was expecting them to.
Absolutely. I mean, now the big question mark, though, is the third map, right? Which one of these guys is going to not be tilted, is going to take the momentum of winning one map and carry that into a second one?
I think what tends to be overlooked here when it gets to a third map, when you've gone through the strides of your ups and your downs, from winning and losing, is the endurance of players, the endurance of a team and their morale. And that's one thing that I think needs to be delved into from time to time, is when you have these games that stretch to the third round or third map. Sometimes when we go 30, 32, 33 rounds, it's a matter of not necessarily gunplay. It's not necessarily strategy. It's about making sure that you can keep up your pace of play. You can keep up just awareness.
Absolutely.
Now, we are going to move to highlights here from our second map on Chalet. Let's take a look at how paiN Gaming stole this map away.
I feel like there's some good highlights on this one especially.
Oh, there's definitely going to be the one in Garage.
Yeah, there was some good fights around this wine cellar as well. And then I imagine we'll see the one as well on the garage door. I liked what he was trying to do there. Unfortunately, he also failed to use the ladder properly, which was apparently his Achilles heel that round.
Now, this was a good job by PX. He got the C4 kill onto Yuna. You're also going to have Jerry moving in forward. PX gets him down. And then PSK did a good job of hesitating there. Now, this
hesitating.
Wait for it. PX is like, I see this. He says, wait a second. I don't need to get him just yet. He's going to wait, line up the perfect headshot, wait for it, 1 second to go, gets the kill. And then that is what won the round there. Magnificent constraint.
Boar's patience as well right there. Like, those plays where you just see that restraint where they're like, I could shoot them, but I don't yet. Like, that, and even the play with the mirror laying down behind the plants was all about patience, right? So I think that's a nice theme throughout that match, to see that patient, smart play, picking your battles is what helped paiN win.
I think, I mean, when you try to dig into what is the difference between the ranked, what is the difference between Go 4s, what is the difference between Challenger League, what is the difference between Pro League, one of the things is the ability to restrain yourself when you're in a very risky situation. And the majority of the time when we see that is when there's a lot of pressure on a roamer who's being spotted out. We saw it earlier on tonight with Uke inside of Oregon, inside of the kids' dorms. He knows he's spotted out. Now it's a matter of, do you have that fight or do you have that flight mode kick in? He tended to have that fight mode where he was just going to hunker down, wait for them to come to him. Ultimately, it didn't work out for him. Here, this is a different kind of patience, a different kind of restraint that we saw there from the Mira or from PX. And ultimately, that is, in my eyes, what makes a Pro League player a Pro League player. Being able to restrain yourself from going for that easy kill, from going for that baited movement.
Yeah, and that's the strategy we don't even see all that often, is just waiting for them to go plant the diffuser at the last second when you have a kill. It's not something we encounter very often. And seeing it like that, having spectated, knowing exactly what's going through his head at that moment, I think is a great example of that restraint. And also the follow-up from Boar as well. I mean, it's unfortunate that the team we saw the most restraint from was not the team that won, but ultimately both those times it led to winning that round. And, I mean, we'll see if paiN can pick up that same level now that they've actually managed to win this map and continued to play in this. I don't know. I don't imagine they're going to see the highlights yet and know that, like, oh, maybe we should be that level of patience.
Yes.
So maybe down the road, but overall, good lessons, like you said, for, going from, ranked or any of those things, even into Go 4 to work your way up to this level. It takes a certain level of control. We saw even like control with the pre-fires, for example, on the gun. I was giving an example of in Border.
On Border, yep.
Those kinds of things definitely require another level of player to really have, because, when you get in that ranked mentality, half the time it's just about fragging, it's just about like pushes and aggression. That lack of aggression is something you have to really develop as a team, and knowing how to trust your teammates, when to trust your teammates, the calls you have to make, it's not easy to learn.
Yeah, and that's where trusting in your in-game leader definitely comes into play. If you have a strong, respected in-game leader on your team, you're likely going to be performing better because you're going to trust the calls that he's making. You're going to trust what he says. We see it a lot with teams like Rogue, with teams like Penta, where they can instantly change up a strategy. They can stop, if we're talking about Border, we've seen this before, where they'll push on West Balcony, there'll be 30 seconds left to go and build a 3-on-3, and they're like, hey, let's change over. Let's renegotiate ourselves. Let's head over to East. In a blink of an eye, they're over onto the East balcony. They're not doubting that call from their IGL. They're going for it right away, and it's that kind of respect, that kind of level of awareness that is then going to take your team to the next level.
And I'd be curious who the IGLs are on this team, or on these two teams, because it's always interesting to see how they play differently. You have someone like King George, for example, on Rogue. And you watch the play, it has this kind of flexible sight anchor most of the time because he's doing that IGL role. And he needs to be making those calls. And it's a situation, too, where even like when he dies, if he has to die doing something, he's there to still provide that IGL role when he's dead. And it's so you can sometimes see it in the play, the way they play. And sometimes we've seen roster changes where one IGL goes over to another team and it drastically improves that other team because he was just so good at what he was doing.
Yes, we saw that a lot actually with King George when he went on to Rogue.
Yeah.
Because he did become their IGL. But, ladies and gents, we are going to head back into our third and final map. It's going to be on Consulate. Let's take a look at those operator selections going on right now between Merciless and paiN.
So this will be interesting to see. They are starting top floor, which I think is interesting. Merciless primary, last time they played this, so last time Merciless played, they played Consulate, and they lost it to BRK, but they started Garage, so them starting top, which was their secondary, is an interesting change-up. They must have decided, maybe their Garage wasn't working as well as that they would like, so switching up is smart. Well, I like that they're bringing the Pulse because that is useful for being able to kind of look up from the below, especially when you play top floor and you have Pulse play down in the basement, for example, to like look into Visa Office from Archives, things like that, or come in as a late roam can be really good, especially if you know they're going to plant and you come up from the basement, you can see 4, things like that. So I think this is a good lineup, but we'll see what paiN can do against it.
Yeah, now, generally speaking, what we see the most from teams on Consulate when the bomb site's upstairs from an attacking point, we are going to see basically an admin takeover. We tend to see a lot of early engagement in that admin office.
I think, especially this season, I've seen that be more the meta than I was used to. So I felt like we used to see a lot more when Blackbeard was a little bit better. You see a lot more pressure on the B site from the windows or even the balcony because of him not being as strong and things like that. We're seeing a lot more admin pushes, I think. And then they know a lot of times that's where, for example, a roamer is going to be hanging out. And if you can take it, because you have different angles from the windows, if you could take them out and pressure them out, gives you a lot of control. Plus, you have the ability to then potentially shoot through the walls into the projector room from that Visa office even.
Now, Boar is going to be spotted out on the yellow stairs. Looks as though we're going to have an EMP and a frag grenade go down at the same time.
So it looks like they're doing the meta we've been seeing a lot too as well, opening up the wall there from the closet into the yellow stairs, something we've seen a lot of this season.
Now that little vault through hole is going to allow him to evade the nades getting tossed on through, but it may expose him to that skylight. He's going to have to navigate through that very quickly.
Yeah, they have some idea he's in there. They can't drone it out as easily without jumping a drone and then risking its life, but they know.
Yeah, one of the things that some might be asking themselves is why not reinforce the side they opened up and then take the closer side of the window. And that's because then all you have to do as an attacker is open up the bathroom window and you can see all that top of yellow.
Yeah, so definitely some evolutions of the defenses on this map here as Consulate has become more and more of a thing. But these runouts here.
Navi's is going to pick up 2 kills here. He's going to go for 1. Oh, no, he's just going to grab 1, go back inside. That's the glass off the board.
That's a good one.
2 smokes and your DMR.
Yeah, I mean, Yuna hasn't been the best glass, but still taking it off the board is going to be a nice impact. And he's going to get away with it scot-free, no punishment whatsoever.
Yep.
And he can hang out in the basement like I was talking about, or rotate up. Nice
Whoa,
smoke.
Good gas grenade there. That's going to take out Revolt with 60 seconds left to go. It looked as though paiN was trying to make their push in, but that's going to be throttled back, and it's now all going to be up to Spawns and Jerry in a 4-on-2.
Trying to decide how he wants to do this. It's not quite C4, so he's got to be precise. Looks like that almost worked there. Not going to see intact.
He's going to be right behind the soft wall.
This is looking good for MG.
And there's going to be Boar, again, sitting like a bird at the top of the yellow stairs. And Spawns will be the last member alive here for the attackers. Looks as though this round might not go to paiN in a 4-on-1.
Come on, Spawns. You can take a few down with you. I've seen some good play from this guy. I think, I mean, it's nice he's got the SMG-11 as well for these close encounters. Cyber, though.
There it is. Cyber peeks on out, grabs the kill. Merciless goes up 1-0.
Way to use his own utility. That's nice. I mean, paiN should have had the advantage in a way because they've seen Merciless play on this map. But I think Merciless made some change-ups. They played it a little bit differently. Started on the bomb side they don't normally start on. And it clearly threw paiN way off. That was a nice set. I mean, from the run out on, that was just, you know, picking their 1v1 fights, getting good crossfires. It was nicely done. But paiN are actually going to start in the garage. So we'll see how that defense goes.
I mean, generally you don't necessarily have two players playing on yellow. Yeah. So I think now that Boar had been spotted out at the top of yellow, all the attention was, okay, we should worry about the top of yellow. And here you had underneath, you just had Spawns peek on out, he grabbed the kill, and there it went.
Yeah, I mean, yellow stairs is probably one of the more interesting parts of this map, and just the different ways it's used on the different bomb sites being such a factor, regardless of where you're playing.
Yeah. Sorry, no, it wasn't Spawns that peeked out. It might have been, who was it? Navi's. Navi's was the one that peeked out.
Yeah. So, we'll see if MG is prepared to attack the garage. Like I said, that's more the meta now on this map. Not as much as it used to be the top floor all the time. Now the basement being a bit more utilized. Always curious to see if they're going to go for this bathroom defense. We have seen quite a bit of people trying to do this bathroom sort of hold on this map. Doesn't look like they're going to go from it, probably. Very interesting. Planning to see for that. Is that a pre-plant for the bathroom?
That's going to be a pre-plant possibly for the hallway from reception.
Interesting choice there. I assume that was intentional. Curious to see how that works out. Hopefully he has a camera or something to do something about it, because there's no pulse to give him any information about any movement. And you usually don't want to open up the floor to give away the sound. So I'm curious to see how he's going to set that off and if it's going to do anything at all. They are definitely noticing the bathroom's clear, though. That makes it a lot easier for them to take this middle floor. Although I still think you kind of want to take it from admin more often than it's not. This is always risky, though, pushing this projector wall here.
Yeah, it can lead to an easy crossfire, but we do only have one member, two members from paiN roaming up top. It's going to be Yuna and Revolt.
That's mostly what you need, although I don't know if Yuna's going to be as effective because he's in an area where it's pretty easy to clear him out. We'll see, though. A lot of droning going out here. They're trying to be very well prepared because they're not necessarily sure how paiN's going to play this, as they had not played Consulate previously. So this is good for their first round against them to really suss it out first. We'll see if they have enough time to execute, though, with only 2 minutes left.
Looks like we will see Garage get opened up. Intact, though. We'll smack down a first kill onto Spawns.
That was a good start. I like this angle here he's trying to use. Was that perhaps after the C4 went off?
Very, very likely.
Oh, nice shot on that mirror window there. That's definitely going to help.
Yuna has gotten down to Visa hallway, though. So with that, he's going to move in forward towards reception. Novi's going to be getting a little bit of damage, a lot of damage done to him from below. He's going to walk away with about 3 health as Intact continues to open up the floor. Now, there's been not much of a game.
I was waiting to see if he was going to try and reset him, and unfortunately...
Tried to reset with the assault rifle. I would
he thought the wall was going to be enough.
Unfortunately, it wasn't. Habana goes down. A 4-on-4 is going to continue here with a minute to go. Cyber's going to be on the top of the yellow stairs. He's been goo-trapped, and he's been Ela-mined. Oh, Jerry's going to be injured here by the nade. Intact moves in forward, but he gets a little too aggressive, and PSK, he's going to capitalize on it. Yuna also going to smack down a headshot there into Cyber, leaving a 2v4.
Nice
There's
bait.
45 seconds left to go as Boar and PX are the last 2 alive.
MG not looking so strong this round.
made some key mistakes there. The team kill, the over-aggressiveness from Intact, but that doesn't mean the C4 is not, or that doesn't mean the plant's not going to go down. PX will, in fact, come here and grab it. He's going to lay that down. Claymore's going to go out. PX is able to get out in time, and this is all going to come down to, will they be able to push out, and will they be able to grab these kills? Looks like Yuna, he's going to go down yellow stairs. Revolt going to try to go up from above.
So that Claymore is definitely going to be critical here because that's one of the main run-out spots trying to stop this here.
Oh, there's going to be a top floor push out from Revolt. He's going to go open up. Borgo, he grabs one kill, and it looks like a refrag. Revolt's going to tag him down. Now, last man alive is going to be PX. He's going to be in the back of that driveway, basically, here by Garage. They're going to push on out here even more and more. There he goes. He's actually going to long arm this. Yuna's on it, and the looks as though he will get it in time. No, he's not! He's going to do it! Oh, what a clutch here by Merciless Gaming! PX able to win this round by snagging the head of the player that was trying to long arm the defuse.
Wow. Nicely done changing his angle. Bit risky that late, but you knew they were pushing aggressively on you. Just well timed. That was... I mean, that could have easily gone either way. They were long-arming it. They were definitely in a good position to actually defuse it with him being pressured from the top floor and the bottom. That could have gone either way. The Claymore being on the door definitely helped, though, as well. I think that was a factor in him knowing that he was secure on that side. But just nicely done winning that. That was getting that plant down was important, and then him defending it himself. Just well done. That was a close round for MG, though. I feel like paiN probably should have won that.
Oh, hands down, they should have won that. Especially, I think you had Revolt upstairs. He had gotten the one kill onto, I think it was whoever was playing yellow side. He overlooked that far right garage player, or far right out by the gates, and ultimately that's where the thermite was.
Yeah. So nicely done. Oh, we're going to see an Echo and a Mute here. This should be interesting defense from MG. Now this is, again, their primary downstairs. Normally, they have used a Mute and Echo previously, though, in this combination. So this is probably a similar setup to what they were using last time against BRK, which I think worked okay for them. So I'm curious to see if this works against paiN, but paiN did have the chance to see this. So depending on whether or not they did the research, see how well it pays off for them. They are definitely going to be set up for this defense with some good roam play, I imagine. Curious where the Echo's going to sit. I think he usually sits in cafeteria, but it's going to be important for him to stay alive to deny the defuse plant as long as possible.
I'm still very impressed with the recoil discipline that Thermite showed that last round, grabbing the
it's not
headshot
easy.
onto the diffuse destroyer.
Yeah, that was definitely very well played. Looks like they're going for this garage pretty heavy, and this is something that seems to work pretty good if you can land your shots, because they've got to put pressure now from the top. This is where Jerry's going to have to deal with Nobi's.
Yeah, the C4s went out. They saw the floor get blown open, so Jerry's job is going to be to get them out of piano, or at least off of the angle that we do see Navi's trying to hold on to.
Yeah, this is an interesting angle, the way he's trying to use this. Curious if this will work or not, but I like the idea. Let them push in and just shoot them in the back of the head as they run in, make dropping diffuser inside the bomb site, leaving them in a bad situation. PX also ready to trade a C4 for some life. They do need to take control of piano, though, and it does seem like they want to, but I like Cyber sneaking around here still, although he might get cornered there.
Yeah, now this is all about basically whether or not the roam game, these Cyber and Navi's are going to be able to stop this push. Right there,
Navi's.
Nice job by Jerry.
Glad he finally managed to make that work. Took him a little bit long, but he did take out a vital player and being able to actually push in. Revolt's trying to go for a little bit of a crawl here. Kind of gave himself away, unfortunately.
He wasted just a little bit too much time, so he's just like, let's get on in. Now the plant is going to go out, and it looks like PX will be blind, but he's going to try to toss it out.
Nope.
No! It's going to be Yuna moving it forward. Also tries to go for the kill there onto Intact, and the gun just is not doing the damage. This is a shotgun in his hand, ladies and gentlemen.
Interesting choice.
So right there, plant will go down, and Intact's going to have the SMG-11 in his hand. Goes to grab the kill there onto paiN, but he's got to reload, and Intact will go down by Yuna. Now next, Candela's going to go on out, and Cyber, he's going to be by Pipe trying to pick up a kill. PSK has been injured, but Diffuser, with that being down, we are going to see Boar take out PSK. Now a 2-on-3 here. And it looks as though Cyber will not be able to land the kill. Jerry getting yet again another kill. Boar, last man alive. Yuna goes down. And it's now going to be a 2-on-1. Some shots coming in from behind. Revolt, wonderful job picking up Boar. And that's going to mean paiN Gaming will take this round. It's now going to be 2-1 6-1.
I liked that push by paiN. It was a little bit slow on the second half of it, but the first half of getting that garage door open quickly, nicely done. Kept their focus entirely on that. Jerry took a little while to kill Navi's, but once he got him out of that piano, it seemed like the defense just kind of fell apart. It was interesting to see that those Ying plays as well, that Candela definitely saved his life, pushing against that C4 from the Mira, and then managing to just lay there and get that other trade after you're low on health, you're dealing with a shotgun at close range. That helped big time, I think. And it was a very interesting round. I can't imagine that's going to work necessarily a second time the same way, but overall, it was a nice attack on MG. We'll see if paiN can keep it up, though. They are still down around MG, 1 point advantage. And they know they've got to win this, obviously, because this is the third map. Whoever wins this sticks around. Whoever doesn't is out for good this season. Going back down to relegations.
Yeah, like you had just said, this is the losers match of Group B in the group stages here for Season 3. And ultimately, one team's going to go up against BRK Esports next week. One team's going to walk away, unfortunately, with our chances of Pro League almost being dwindled.
Yeah, because you go into relegations, you could just end up back in Challenger League. Although paiN has been here since the beginning, so even if they lose, I feel like they'll try and stick around as long as possible. Not even lose relegations potentially, but it's anyone's game at this point. I do think we've seen some great play from both teams already, though. This is a map that I wanted to see earlier for this reason. There's some great plays from these teams. Cyber back on that glass. See if he's going to be as effective. Curious if their garage defense is going to work this time.
Still trying to figure out the lay of the land here. We do have Yuna and Revolts upstairs where they were previously. And PSK is also roaming quite a bit. So there's only 2 players on site for paiN Gaming.
Yeah, and if they figure that out, this could be a big rush. Now, this is a big difference. We saw when paiN was attacking the site, they got that garage door open ASAP. Merciless, on the other hand, not as interested in getting that open super early. I think they're more interested in really understanding what's going on in the defense first. But in the meantime, they're giving the roamers a lot of time to move around and be very hard to pick out later on. When you roam clear, you need to do it fast and quickly and push in with a drone. Otherwise, all of your intelligence is potentially worthless because now they're not going to know where Eunice and Revolts really are.
Now we're actually looking like we might be seeing a Visa push, potentially. No, we're kind of seeing a collapse. We do have Buck inside of the... Ooh, almost missed a shot.
Surprisingly late for Cyber. He's usually a little more on it than that, but he knows where he's at now.
Navi's inside of the main floor bathroom. We've got Buck above inside of the reception area, peeking on down towards the kitchen. Now, last time he tossed a grenade in here, got over-aggressive. And this time around, he's just going to try to get a kill and then ultimately call it quits.
Yeah, it didn't work out, but you know what? He's not dead, so...
Good C4 kill.
As I say that, he is now. Caster's Curse.
There's going to be that C4 kill from Spawns. Lands it onto the floor and takes him on out. Now a 4 of 5. 40 seconds to go. Navi's going to be inside a piano, working his way over towards yellow stairs, along where Boar is outside of him right now.
Boar's trying to fight it.
Just being a little bit aggressive here. Cyber trying to come on outside. Another C4 kill from Jerry. And it looks as though Cyber gets that headshot onto Spawns. He's going to move on back, but it looks like not in time because Navi's was taken out as well. Boar also falling. So 1-on-4 now. Cyber, last man alive. He's actually the diffuser has been planted. I didn't see it go down. Grab the headshot. Oh, he misses it.
So close, buddy.
And that looks like that's going to be round here. paiN Gaming going to come out on top, 2-2 now.
Feels for Sir Cyber. He really tried, but missed too many shots and really paid the price for it. That's one of those rounds that will leave someone tilted. Because Cyber had some good opportunities, missing Mira a couple times because of the different things going on outside, missing those shots on the person upstairs. It's just, he had so many opportunities to land shots and couldn't, that he's going to have trouble, I think, playing that class next time. Just feeling like, I could have made something happen, and it just didn't. But it's only 2-2. Still anyone's game at this point. We've seen some great play from both teams. Merciless, though, I feel like being a bit more on the back foot on this map. We are going to see our first Capitao of the map, though, from Yuna. Not going to play that glass this time. They are going with the mute this time, but no echo. Maybe they just decided that didn't work out so well.
I feel as though we're seeing not mute, I'm sorry, we're seeing Ella and Legion forced.
Yeah.
I understand bringing one or the other, but bringing both I feel like is a little bit forced because you're missing out on a lot of other utility.
Yeah, there's a few choices.
You're missing out on the potential for the Echo, for the Yokai. You're missing out on the potential for the ADSs that Jaeger could bring to stop some of those smoke grenades
Even
from being
a pulse
tossed in.
would be better.
The pulse you could bring. I mean, I feel like there are better opportunities for operators.
Well, you know, that being said, these are Pro League teams. They are doing what they think is best, and I respect that. I just hope they can manage to make it work instead of continuing to fail at it. They are definitely looking to clear this middle floor. We're not seeing a lot of pushes on the admin office, which surprises me because I've seen that be very effective so far this season when it comes to pushing any of the objectives. Just not a lot of it happening so far, and the roamers tend to actually play up there to defend that.
Navi's trying to get aggressive out on the top floor. Cyber as well. He's going to rotate that back over towards yellow stairs.
I guess deciding they don't want to bother with top floor, so I probably don't need to be there. Looks like they actually are considering at least going up projector. Here's this early open of the garage door again. Still within the first minute. paiN being good about that. I think that's working out a little bit in their favor. Let's see if Spawn's going to really put the hurt on them from the side here. This is a nice early approach. Hopefully they don't hear him coming, because if he starts approaching the cafeteria at just the right time, this could be a critical pinch. Oh, nice.
Good drone in place here. Revolt's going to be outside with his drone moving in towards Visa. I'm really curious to see how Spawn, what kind of information Spawn is getting, because he's going to be a play of the game here if he's able to get around either into the hallway or towards kitchen.
You just has to time this right. Communication with your team is critical. They've also got this extra smoke here from the Capitao that'll be interesting to see how that plays into play. They don't have a glass or anything to shoot through it, but they can definitely take advantage of it. No Ying for those Candelas either, which worked for them last time.
Ooh, the mirror window will get opened up, though. Intact going to be looking the wrong way. Spawns picks up that opportunity. Good frag on his behalf. Now a 4-on-5 here. A minute 10 to go. We are going to have Mira inside of the office still. Has lots of damage done to her. But Navi's now very aware there's a Twitch down here.
This is, I feel like, looking good for paiN. They've got enough time left to really make this work. And Cyber, though, not agreeing with me, apparently. Finally taking down that Spawn's flank.
Oh, here it is. We also have Cyber moving into reception, but Revolt, it's going to be right here, and he will grab the frag on the Cyber, and it looks like Borg gets a refrag, though, and a unit C4 from Navi's takes out PSK. 35 seconds to go. It's going to be a 3-on-2. Jerry, he's outside. Diffuser is not in the hands of either of the defenders, and it looks as though there's Jerry grabbing a headshot on the Navis. 2-on-2. PX is one bullet away from dying. He's going to stay inside of that middle office as Revolt tries to come on down from the circle stairs, moving him forward, grabbing the bearing 9 for the closer angle. He's going to be looking to pre-fire here onto Revolt, or sorry, onto PX. Will he grab it? He sees it, and he goes, he downs him, goes for the kill. Last man alive is going to be Boar. He comes around, he stops Jerry. The plan is not down just yet, and therefore it's going to be a 1-on-1. Revolt trying to go against Boar, just wasting time, but no, it's going to be the attackers here. Grabs the kill, the bearing 9 from Revolt to win the round. Wonderful job by paiN Gaming and Revolt.
That was my favorite round so far for just the sheer scrappiness and back and forth of both of those teams. You saw it even down to the 1v1 at the end, dodging around the pole, the trades back and forth in a 2v2, so they had to find each other. I mean, I honestly think they probably should have tried to just play into the cafeteria at that point.
No, I think the diffuser was down in garage because it had been down. So the Thatcher that tried moving in at the last second, he got killed. Jerry
That's right,
got
that was
killed.
Jerry pushing it in, yep. Well, nonetheless, won the round. That was nicely done by paiN. I still like their attacks on Garage. I think those have been their more successful parts of this map so far. Now the question is, will they be able to defend this top floor to bring it to match point, or is this going to go back and forth? We're going to see our first dock, something we do see now and again. Interesting choice here from Spawns.
I would really like to take a look after the game is done at how many operators we've seen on attack and how many different operators we've seen on defense. Because we've seen, on the attack side, we've seen Glaz, we've seen Ying, we've seen Capital,
Yeah.
we've seen Jack, we've seen all these operators that come out that are situational, but they're being used for multiple different situations. I like it.
Yeah, I like how we go from complaining about Legion being played too much to also, but everyone else is actually being played a fair amount. I like it was interesting what Jerry was doing there with the garage door there, opening it up for a potential run out, possibly. Definitely setting up here down in the basement. I like to see this pulse play down in the basement. I think having a dock up here is something I've seen actually work pretty good on defending Projector. So I definitely agree with Spawns' decision if he can make it work, because it's just something I've seen work fairly well, because holding down Projector can be fairly important for these pushes, especially if they decide to push heavy on balcony. Although it looks like he's actually spending a bit more time focused outside than in.
Yeah, he knows right now that they're not going to go for a very quick plant into A. So he's trying to peek if someone's going to be outside in the far spawn, waiting for a push out onto the balcony.
Yeah, looks like he's rotating around maybe a bit too much. Hopefully someone else is watching that Projector just in case they need to get some idea where the push is coming from. Though Cyber are going to be a brutal force on those windows. However, he's more concerned about that run-out hole on the garage door. At least Intact trying to help clear out some of this room here. Looks like they could be going for a B push just because a lot of focus has been on that side. But they don't have the old Blackbeard for that. Cyber, though, I guess will be their Blackbeard without a face shield here as he's going to start helping out. More Legion traps, though. This is a good place for them to be useful.
See, now, I wouldn't necessarily put barbed wire down here as well, because they don't want the barbed wire. That is a visible thing they can see. If there's enough barbed wire, they're going to toss a nade. They're going to shoot an Ash charge. They're going to EMP. They're going to do something because they don't want that barbed wire. And your goo mines are going to be caught with that.
Yeah, absolutely agree. You don't want to put those two things together for that reason. Oh,
good job. Nice
so
crossfire.
Yeah, that was well played. Not well played so much by Yuna, but well played by the attackers there. Crossfiring that, not shooting each other in the process, which is always good. So that's a little bit of over-aggression down. Spawn's rotating back to his spot, which is good here. I think they're doing a good job of holding this out, delaying the attackers. But Spawn takes a lot of damage. He's going to have to juice up now.
Nice job by Revolt. Or sorry, not by Revolt. That's by Jerry over here. He got the C4 kill on a PX, but the plant was successful. Cyber's going to be inside of the cubby. Nice Claymore kill. Navi's on a PSK. Another kill here from Boar onto Jerry. Revolt's going to try to jump on out. He grabs the kill on Navi's, gets refragged in return by Boar. A 3-on-1 now. All up to Spawns, and the headshot comes on by the DMR of Glaz. Cyber winning round number 6 here for Merciless.
So what did we learn from that? 3 times they jumped outside and died.
Don't jump outside.
Yeah, not a great play for you at this point, paiN. I think you guys already lost noted, so you're fine to just stay in the building, as it did not work out for you. However, it's only 3-3. They still got time. One of these teams is going to bring it to match point with this round here. Although they could get a draw, both of them could bring it to overtime immediately. Not likely, but it could happen. However, going back up to top floor for MG where they started, see if they can defend it successfully again. Bringing that pulse, pretty much similar lineup, I think, to what we saw from them before. I liked what Spawns was trying to do with that dock last time, a little bit of a change-up. He did manage to live quite a while. Unfortunately, died in the end due to the Glaz being a little more effective than the dock stim pistol.
Yeah, no, I feel as though after the aggressive jump out of the corner office window, that's kind of when it was a matter of, okay, the attacker's like, we can push in. We know that they're going to be connector. We know they're going to be most likely inside of the main lobby or over in the projector room. Let's go for this plan inside a corner office. We have 2 people, and we can do it.
Yeah.
That was the turning point for me. That aggressive play that did not go in favor of paiN Gaming last round.
No, definitely not. So again, that's the theme, right? Is checking that aggression. So hopefully that last round was a fluke for them in terms of that. Oh, speaking of Spawns.
Oh, missing the target there, Navi's. You saw him, but you went a little bit potato there, and Spawns will pick up on that opportunity.
Yeah, they have ACOG, buddy. But it was a nice try, I guess. Probably not the best time to be doing it when it's potential match point, but...
I mean, no, it was perfect. He had the chance. He had it was a great peek.
Just couldn't land the shots.
It was basically just a miscalculation, I'll say.
I feel like maybe he could have held a better angle as well to catch him sooner, but he didn't necessarily know where he was going to approach from. So Nonetheless, though, that's already one defender off the board here, giving paiN a little bit of advantage on the spawns. Taking a bit of damage for his troubles. They're definitely going to be clearing out the site as quick as they can. Looks like they could be considering a B push here, as you saw them droning that early. Although they're going to check Visa as well. Nice Claymore there on that door, just to prevent any cheeky runouts on those people repelling on the B side. So that's going to be a pivotal thing, right? We saw a good run out on that earlier. So that's very important to defending your flank there.
Now, Boar on Yellow Stairs is going to be the main focal point of paiN Gaming's attack. They need to get him out of there because right now he's got control of corner office with his gas grenades. He's got control of the Yellow Stairs actually being there without much pressure. So we're likely to see spawns the Twitch try to pressure him a little bit.
Boar is a good player too, so it's not going to be easy. PX getting away with that though. Unfortunately, now that means Spawns is giving away his position. They know someone's top of Spiral, and they're going to be calling that out. I like how he's crossfiring for his team, though, at least a little bit, into that B push here. Again, no more admin pushes, just all B pushes today. Interesting. Oh, there was...
Now, Yuna is going to toss out one gas grenade, I feel like, and attacks moving on over. That's actually... Ooh, actually tapped him a little bit, but didn't do an absorbent amount of damage. You still are going to have Boar, who's on Yellow Stairs, but a good kill by Jerry onto intact. C4 from PX will go onto Yuna, finishing him off in the round. PSK's gotten into the cubby here, trying to challenge Boar now. And there's going to be a nice little shot. Will he go through the wall? No, he's not just yet. The diffuser is in the hands of PSK, but he cannot plant in this cubby. That's not a plantable area. So he's going to have to move on out in towards the middle of the corner office, which is right where we're going to see this fight go down. Boar, wonderful SMG 11 kill. Diffuser down, 30 seconds to go. To 3-on-2. You've got Jerry still outside, and Revolt's going to be at the top of the circle stairs. He gets taken out by Cyber. The last man alive is going to be Jerry. He's got to pop into the Yellow Stairs. Going to have to go through barbed wire. He's got to go through Boar, and he just cannot. The shotgun's going to lay him flat down.
Boar is king of those Yellow Stairs. Don't want to mess with him there. So nicely done by MG. Again, I feel like putting a lot of pressure there onto the B window without a lot of flank. I like what they tried to do with Spawns on the Spiral Stairs. That was a good crossfire there, but they didn't have any pressure, say, on the bathrooms. They didn't have anything really going on the admin office side or even the break room over there. Nothing going really on the balcony. It was a little too one-sided, and so it ended up one-sided in MG's favor. Back down to the garage for paiN, though.
So this is match point, this is series point, and ultimately this is continuing to play in Season 3 point for Merciless Gaming. Right now, if they can take this win, they'll take the series, and that will send paiN Gaming home for Season 3.
And now, was Merciless one that came up from Challenger?
No, Merciless was here since last season as well.
That's right, okay. paiN, though, not wanting to go there, obviously. Back down on Challenger, so...
I believe it was Encore that
was right, Encore was the only one. So... Well, one of these teams, though, is going to be in relegations, that's for sure. However, I think there's a good chance paiN could come back on this, although they've been much better at attacking the garage than defending it. So this could go either way. MG, though, if you look at the frags there, they did have a bit of an advantage in terms of kills and things like that. So I think they've been a bit more on it. If paiN can refrain from jumping out this round, maybe this will go in their favor, and we could see some overtime.
I thought you were going for a pretty good rhyme right there. I thought you were going for a poem.
No. Next time.
Okay,
we'll save
next
that
time.
for finals.
That's your homework. Work on that.
Analyze the poems.
But no, we saw that planted, that pre-placed C4 again by the Valkyrie in kitchen roof going towards the hallway, the bathroom hallway on that main floor.
It didn't work the first time because he died, but the second time it did work. So, I mean, I think he might have changed position slightly, I'm not sure, but it did work the second time, so do it again, why not? And unfortunately, it does leave you the inflexibility of probably not being able to like dislodge it and use it again if you end up in a desperate situation in the end. So pre-planting a C4 is always a little risky in that sense.
Now, MG is making quick use of that top floor. They're going to drone it out, they're going to clear it out, and they're going to realize that there is no defender up here just yet.
Yeah, usually this is where we saw Yuna and Revolts up in admin a lot of the time playing this top floor. They're deciding not to this time. Maybe that's throwing MG off a little bit. See how paranoid Novies is getting. This little teammate's going to do some work for him, though, with this interesting Claymore placement.
Yeah, what he's doing with the Claymore is basically trying to make sure that only one of the beams actually shows, makes it look more difficult to see.
Also makes it look more cool.
Also makes it look more like Capcan.
There you go. So. Navi's trying to put a little pressure on the back of Cafeteria here, which is something that I think worked pretty well for Spawns before when he was coming around for that flank. I always feel like if you're going to blow this garage, blow it and then push Cafeteria as well, which is what they're doing right now. I think this bodes well for MG, but they've only got a minute 20 left. They've got to start getting stuff rolling just a little bit faster at this point. But they did clear the top floors fast, which was nice because no roamers up there. So a little bit of a time advantage from that, but hopefully he knows PSK1's right there. This could bite him in the butt as he tries to approach.
Now, Revolt and PSK are going to have a good crossfire on these stairs. Yuna will pick up the first kill of the round onto Boar.
Ooh.
That's going to be the Ying down for the count, but Navi's picks up a really nice frag onto the back of Revolt. PX also dropping Yuna down for the count. Now, Jerry's going to be inside of the kitchen, but we do have a little crouching tiger over here with the SMG-11. It's going to be PSK downing and finishing off Navi's. A 3-on-3 now, 40 seconds to go. And Intact raining down bullets from above to pick off Jerry.
He's definitely been a good buck for most of these rounds in his showing.
Now we have last Valkyrie. Oh no, we still have one more Valkyrie camera in the hands of Spawns. PSK is going to be inside of the kitchen. There's 30 seconds left, 25 to go. PX going to try to move in and get this plant down. Now we did run into one of the goo mines. PSK is going to toss out a gas grenade, force him to back on out of there, and that will kill him before the plant goes down. No, it won't. It's actually very close to being so. But PSK is going to move up a little bit closely. And there it's going to be Cyber for the final headshot there on a PSK. Merciless Game is going to win this series 2-1 after a 5-3 victory on Consulate.
They really earned it. It was a nice, close. That's what I want for the third map to be, right? That a lot of back and forth. Maybe I would have liked it to be, you know, a 6-4, but still, nice back and forth there. Good attempt from paiN. I don't think they're going to be going out in relegations, but I do think they're going to be kicking themselves for not making it past this point.
I think they're going to be upset with how they played the first map. Second map, they kicked it back into gear. They got back on their feet. They got back on the horse and started riding again. But this third map here was a struggle for them.
Yeah.
It was a struggle for them. Merciless Gaming ultimately capitalizing on the mistakes, capitalizing on everything they needed to take home this victory. So congratulations to our losers match winner to go up against BRK Esports next week.
Not going to be an easy fight. I mean,